The story begins with the guy being amazed at how beautiful the places were and the game he was now playing with interest. The gamer ran through these places and thought that the scenes in this game were so realistic, and he didn't even believe that this could happen. The gamer took off his gaming glasses and thought that he would first try to play this game and then buy it and play it at home all day. The gamer took off his glasses and thought where he ended up, because when he started the game he was in a completely different place and it was strange. The gamer had previously been to the mall and said that this virtual game was great and the game scene was real. The gamer thought that life was so unpredictable and people could not know where fate would lead them and they had to be prepared. The gamer wandered through these new places and thought that there was very beautiful nature there, and suddenly something caught his attention. The gamer froze in surprise and was in shock and could not believe what he just saw on the stone, and this thing seemed familiar to him. The gamer took this interesting thing in his hands and wondered if it was women's clothing and how it could suddenly end up there. The gamer pressed this women's clothing to his face and realized that it was still warm, and he wondered if he was in heaven and it was good there. And then suddenly the gamer wondered which beauty this belonged to and why the clothes were lying there and where the girl herself went. And then suddenly the gamer froze in place and was in shock because he saw something that made his nose bleed and lose his mind. Suddenly the gamer saw that some beautiful girl was swimming in the lake, and he found out that these clothes belonged to her. The gamer couldn't figure out if it was actually a virtual game and he really ended up in a game where there were such beauties. And then suddenly the gamer noticed that the super deadly system was activated and everything was fine with his main body. The gamer saw that a deadly mission was launched and he received the task of touching the sage of the Xian Kong clan. The gamer had to complete tasks and gain experience and coins, and for failures his intelligence would decrease, and he thought that it was. The gamer read these tasks that were given to him and was surprised and wondered if he really merged with this game and how it was possible. The gamer sat down on the ground and started crying and thought that he was just playing a game, and suddenly everything became so real and he didn't understand anything. Gamer thought that Lin Tian served his country and people all his life, and at least he was a decent and good person. Lin Tian sat and thought about what he did wrong and thought about the winning task that he received in this game. Lin Tian thought that he liked such things, and of course he was ready to do it, and then the gamer ran towards her. And then suddenly Lin Tian touched this girl and she was shocked and thought who could do this because she was alone there. Suddenly, Lin Tian gained experience and coins for this task and he upgraded to a second-level martial artist. Lin Tian froze in surprise and wondered if it was real, and he increased the level just because he touched this beauty. The sage of the Xian Kong clan turned around and thought who was this arrogant guy who dared to do this to her without shame. And then suddenly the girl pointed a sword at Lin Tian and asked who he was and how he got there and whether he was brazenly spying on her. Lin Tian told her that he was just passing by and didn't want to disturb her, and asked her to continue doing her business. She thought that her backyard was hidden from everyone and was guarded, and even a fly could not enter there without consent. The girl thought that Lin Tian was handsome, but she did not like that he was a frivolous and shameless, insolent and scoundrel. The sage called Lin Tian a shameless libertine and suddenly rushed at him with a sword in her hands and wanted to finish him off. And then suddenly Lin Tian received a new task to provoke death, and he had to dodge her attack and feel the blow. Lin Tian was surprised and thought what kind of task was this, and was he really supposed to die, and he didn't want to do such a task. The sage approached Lin Tian and struck him, and he was shocked because he realized that she was a very strong and powerful girl. Lin Tian came out of the water and sat on his knees and asked her to let him explain everything because it was just a simple accident. The sage did not understand what Lin Tian meant and thought that he did it on purpose and did not want to forgive this impudent person. Lin Tian said that he had to tell her that she was soft and flexible, but she had one flaw that he felt immediately. Lin Tian told her that she was small and could have been bigger, and she stood in shock and thought, was he really so impudent? And then suddenly Lin Tian received 100 points and 1,000 coins, and he was surprised and thought if he really died and why he received the reward. And then suddenly she became very angry at Lin Tian's words and said that she would finish him off now and that he had a rotten and vile tongue. Lin Tian was scared and wondered if it was all for real, and now she could finish him off because she was much stronger than him. Lin Tian thought that he needed to find a way out of this situation, and he began to think and suddenly had an idea. Lin Tian began to wave his hands and looked towards the girl and asked the boss to help him because she was attacking him now. The sage suddenly turned around and thought who Lin Tian was addressing, because there was no one behind her, and Lin Tian quickly ran away from there. The sage shouted at Lin Tian and called him a bastard and asked how dare he fool her and escape from there without her consent. Lin Tian ran a couple of kilometers and stopped and thought that he was so tired and he needed to look at the system and tasks. Lin Tian saw that it was a super deadly system and he was a second-level warrior and he had not yet learned the techniques and had no titles. Lin Tian was very happy and thought, was it really not a game, and realized that it looked like he would spend the rest of his life in this place. But then suddenly someone asked the beauty not to run away and said that there was a dead end, and Lin Tian listened to all this while standing in this place. Suddenly, a figure appeared in front of him and Lin Tian thought what it was and who was approaching him when he was not expecting anything. Lin Tian froze in surprise and looked up and wondered if she was falling right on him and where could she come from in the dead end. And then suddenly some girl fell on Lin Tian and she looked at him and asked for forgiveness for landing on him. The girl hugged Lin Tian and asked the young master if he was alive and if he was harmed after she harmed him. Lin Tian was happy and smiled at the beauty and thought, who was such a beautiful girl and where did she suddenly come from in this place? And then suddenly a message appeared in the system that the launch of the main storyline had begun and everything interesting was ahead. Lin Tian read the inscription in the system and thought about what storyline was written there because he did not understand anything in this world yet. But then suddenly people appeared there and one of them said that he couldn't believe that this bastard was alive and how was this possible. These people immediately went down there and they were armed and told Lin Tian that they would finish him off now and he would pay for his deeds. Lin Tian got scared and immediately took the girl in his arms and ran away from there, and they started chasing him and said that he would not be able to escape. And he stepped on a rat and a notification appeared in the system that the brutal blow technique was available to him and did he want to learn it. Lin Tian was surprised and delighted. Did killing a rat give him such a technique, and being the main character was amazing? Lin Tian activated this technique and suddenly green waves began to come from him and he realized that he was filled with energy and strength. And then suddenly Lin Tian ran with all his might towards these people who did not stop chasing him and dealt with them. And then suddenly Lin Tian immediately received 100 experience for the death of his minions and his level increased and memories were found. Lin Tian held the girl in his hand and wondered if he had become so strong that he could deal with these people so easily. The girl told the young master that he had dealt with them and said that he was amazing and had no equal in the world. Lin Tian thought, and it seemed to him that this girl knew him and he could not miss such a chance to get a beauty at such a moment. And then suddenly Lin Tian began to remember and learned that the Lin family was destroyed, and he finally learned interesting facts. He remembered that then Lin Tian, that is, he himself, was killed and thrown from a cliff, and he understood why these people were surprised to see him. Lin Tian remembered and learned that this beauty's name was Yuner and he could finally now communicate well with her because he knew who she was. And then suddenly the main quest for Lin Tian appeared in the system and he had to reveal the secret of the destruction of the Lin family in this world. Yuner told Lin Tian that she had not eaten anything for 2 days and she was very hungry and wanted to quickly go and eat something. Lin Tian asked Yuner whether his girlfriend could go hungry and asked her to go and said that he would take her to a better place. Yuner was surprised and didn't understand if Lin Tian really said that she was his girlfriend, and she didn't understand this and she became very interested. And then suddenly a portal opened in front of Lin Tian and monsters began to appear from there and he did not know how to explain this action. The quest Explosive Flower was launched in the system and he had to kill wild animals and receive experience and coins for these tasks. Lin Tian wondered if the system had seriously given him this quest and he needed to kill these terrible monsters from the portal. And then suddenly the monster from the portal began to attack Lin Tian and he was huge and wanted to finish him off, and the monster would be very angry. Lin Tian quickly dodged the portal monster's attack and noticed that his speed had increased after learning the technique. Lin Tian pointed his finger at the system and said that he didn't care and he would now do what she wanted and finish off the monster. And then suddenly Lin Tian struck back at the monster from the portal and began to quickly destroy it, and it was not difficult. Immediately, Lin Tian gained experience for killing the demon from the portal and thought that the demonic beast brought him the Flower X skill. Suddenly, the monster from the portal began to run away from there and Lin Tian chased after him and asked him to stand and fight him face to face. Lin Tian quickly dealt with all the monsters of the first level and gained experience, and his level was raised to the 4th level. Yuner was surprised and asked Lin Tian why he used this technique now, and he said that she did not understand and it was a trick. Lin Tian told Yuner that she was hungry and this was the best way to get food, and Yuner said that the young master was smart. Yuner told the monster from the portal to remain as motionless and tasty, and now she will taste it. After they left there, Lin Tian noticed that there were a lot of people there and they were all minding their own business and walking along the street. Lin Tian and Yuner came to a settlement where there were many people, and Lin Tian noticed that there were the same carts as in his world. And then an active mission appeared in the system to enter the courtyard, and Lin Tian had to enter the building and protect Yuner that night. Lin Tian thought that he really had to be left alone with the beauty and protect her, and ordinary people couldn't do it. Lin Tian thought that he was not an ordinary person and would protect her from dangers, and immediately approached Yuner and hugged her. But then a woman came out to them and told Lin that this was not a hotel and they had few places and he had to pay the ladies to stay. But then suddenly Lin Tian took out a bag of money and asked her, who said that he would not pay and said that he needed 10 ladies. People were surprised and wondered if they understood him correctly, and did Lin Tian really want 10 ladies, and it was a cheerful youth. The villager told Lin Tian that he would pay him 100 silver to become his teacher if he taught him his kung fu. Lin Tian smiled and told people that the formula for success was simple and they needed to read books and not overeat and sleep more. The woman froze in surprise and was shocked to see so much money and told Lin Tian that he could go there whenever he wanted. Lin Tian walked inside and the ladies came up to him and he asked them to just stand there and said that he was not that kind of person. The girls did not understand the words and asked Lin Tian what kind of person he was, but he only needed it for the sake of completing the task. Lin Tian told them that they might not believe him, but in fact he was there to have fun and nothing more than that. The girls smiled and told Lin Tian that all the people were there to have fun and his words were strange. Lin Tian thought about why it was so difficult to communicate with people and he couldn't learn how to do it, and began to think about what to do. And then suddenly Lin Tian told the ladies that they would do something more exciting and asked them to stretch out their hands in front of them. Lin Tian told them to try to hit each other's palms by raising them up, and if the person gets hit, he will lose and must drink. People stood on the street and thought how great it was to be young, and they envied Lin Tian that he was so lucky in life. All the ladies started playing the game that Lin Tian taught them and told the young master that it was incredible and interesting. Yuner approached Lin Tian and asked him what she should do, and he said that she could just have fun and relax. And then Lin Tian received an active task in the system and had to enter another room, and he hoped that the reward would not be death. Lin Tian told the ladies that he would go to the toilet and leave for a couple of minutes and asked them not to be bored and continue to have fun. Lin Tian wandered along the corridors and some voice said that he would reward everyone tonight, and suddenly he recognized this voice. Lin Tian realized that it was Li Shuai's voice, and it was the bastard who finished off the previous Lin Tian and threw his body off the cliff. Lin Tian wanted to go to him but realized that he was a 4th level master and Li Shuai was a 6th level master, and he would still have time to take revenge on him. Lin Tian realized that he first needed to go into another room to complete the task, and he wanted not to be distracted by anything else. Lin Tian entered some room and thought about where he ended up and saw that 2 friends were sitting there and talking about life. Lin Tian realized that he had disturbed them and perhaps they were angry with him and thought that this was not suitable for him and left there. But suddenly Lin Tian turned around and noticed that the man was chasing him, and he thought that he didn't want any trouble there. Lin Tian began to quickly run away from the strange man and did not understand why he was chasing him and what he needed from him. Lin Tian ran a couple of meters and hid behind the woman and told the strange man not to come near him and get out of there. Lin Tian asked the woman to remove this strange man from there because he was chasing him, and he took out a bag of money from his pocket. The guards immediately took the strange man away from there, and Lin Tian thought that he had just passed through, and the woman was very happy. And then Lin Tian was congratulated by the system for completing the task and raising his rank to the 5th level and receiving experience and coins. Lin Tian began to come to his senses after the chase, and he could finally rest because this man was not around and he was calm. Lin Lin Tian went into his room and immediately went to bed and immediately fell asleep because he was very tired from this very busy and difficult day. Morning came and Lin Tian slept well and woke up to see in the system that the task to enter the courtyard had been successfully completed. Lin Tian immediately increased his level from 5th to 7th and thought that he would have to do such things more often and he could get used to it. Yuner told Master Lin Tian that he had finally returned to his native land and he asked her not to worry and everything was fine. And then suddenly a man appeared there and he informed everyone that the wedding of the Lee family was beginning and it was a grand event. Lin Tian saw a man on a horse and thought, "Isn't it Li Shuai from the Lee family, and did he really get married today?" And that was interesting. People said that since the Lin family was destroyed, the Lee family became the dominant force in Chui City and ruled everything. People said that even if the Lin family left, there was an influential Yang family in Chui City, so the Lee family could become the main one. One person answered him and said, "Doesn't he know about this?" and said that Li Shuai will marry Yang Shui from this Yang family. Lin Tian remembered that this Yang Shui was first Lin Tian's fiancée and now she was with the enemy of the Lin family and she was an unfaithful lady. And then suddenly a mission appeared in the system and Lin Tian had to come to the bride's party and create problems there. Yuner told Mr. Lin Tian that his fiancée had cheated on him and he said that nothing had happened and that he would stop everything now. And then suddenly Lin Tian ran to Li Shuai and grabbed him and said that he must pay for what he did recently. Lin Tian told Li Shuai that he caught him and he had to pay, but Li Shuai asked what he was talking about and what he was doing there. All the people were surprised and did not understand what Lin Tian was doing and why he behaved so unculturedly and threatened the good Li Shuai. And then suddenly Yang Shui appeared in front of them in a beautiful dress and asked Lin Tian if it was really him and what he was doing there. Lin Tian looked at Yang Shui and thought what was the use of her beauty because she blindly chose his enemy and despicably betrayed him. Lin Tian told his bride that her fiancé had not yet died and she was already marrying another person, and it was interesting. Yang Shui said that half-dead grass had already grown on the grave of the Lin family, and Lin Tian told her something about her marriage to someone else. And then suddenly Yuner got angry and told Yang Shui that such a vile woman like her was not worthy of the good-natured Lin Tian. Lin Tian thought that Yuner was good and kind, but when she was angry she was a tigress and fortunately she was on his side. Li Shuai was surprised and asked him if he really was Lin Tian and wasn't he dead because everyone knew that he was dead. Lin Tian told Li Shuai that he thought everything was right and he was the former Yang Shui and he was powerful and he had enough strength to defeat him. Li Shuai said that he doesn't care whether he is a person or a ghost, and even if the son of the Lin family got out of heaven, he will send him back. And then suddenly Li Shuai ordered his men to finish off Lin Tian and people with weapons began to surround Lin Tian from all sides. Suddenly, Lin Tian used a technique called Charged Furious Fist and dealt with all the people without any problems. Li Shuai saw that he was starting to lose and then suddenly he approached Yuner who was in conflict with Yang Shui and grabbed her. Li Shuai asked Lin Tian if he thought that he could stop his plans and said that he would never be able to defeat him in a fight. Lin Tian told Li Shuai that it was better for him to let Yuner go now, otherwise he would regret that he was born and would cry. Li Shuai became angry at Lin Tian's words and told him that he had 3 days to train for a fair fight with him. Li Shuai told Lin Tian that if he does not see him in 3 days, he will send Yuner to the concubine court and will not regret it. Lin Tian thought that in the Li family there were many masters similar to his skills and now he could not save anyone and get them out. Lin Tian began to quickly run away from there and thought that he needed to somehow become stronger in 3 days, but he didn't know how to do it. Lin Tian completed the task and looked at the system and thought that this system still wanted him to die in missions all the time. Lin Tian remembered that on the map he was given there was a monument to the War of the Gods dedicated to the purification of monsters and modernization. Lin Tian began to think and came up with a plan and said that he would save Yuner in 3 days and wanted her to just wait for him. Lin Tian came to some village and thought that it was the Han family and he heard that they were very good in the field of business. And then suddenly a man appeared in front of Lin Tian and told him that it was his first time there and whether he wanted to go on a trip with them. Lin Tian was indignant and wondered if this guy really thought that he was some kind of fool and he didn't know what he was capable of. The system has a quest to pretend to be a sheep and eat a wolf and join a team and find an opportunity to defeat their leader. Lin Tian thought that it was written on his face that he did not want to join their team and he hoped that they would not understand his scam and deception. And then suddenly Lin Tian's face changed and he told his brother that he was a very good person and he had finally found a team. The guy smiled and was glad to accept Lin Tian into his team and he seemed like an ordinary person without any surprises. They came to the cave and the head told Lin Tian that in this cave the treasure was guarded by a demonic beast and it was aggressive. The gang leader told Lin Tian that he needed to distract this beast until they took out all the treasures and nothing else. Lin Tian wondered if this gang leader really wanted to send him to the next world and did he really think that he was a complete idiot? And then suddenly a mission appeared in the system. Lin Tian had to enter the cave and lure the beast and blow up its X-flowers. Lin Tian got angry at the system and wondered if it also considered him an idiot and wanted the monster to send him to the next world. But in fact, in order not to give himself away, Lin Tian smiled at the head of the gang and asked him not to worry and said that he would distract the beast. Lin Tian boldly walked towards the monster and the gang leader ordered his man Murong to go with Lin Tian to help. And then suddenly Murong stopped Lin Tian and grabbed his hand and asked what he was doing and did he really want to seduce the wild beast. Lin Tian told Murong that he had no intention of seducing him and just wanted to beat him and hurt the monster with all his might. Suddenly, Lin Tian grabbed a baseball bat and looked at the monster angrily and wanted to deal with it now once and for all. Lin Tian began to beat this monster with a bat and said that he had nothing to do with it and he had to blame the system for such tasks. And then suddenly the beast screamed and fell and a notification appeared in the system that Lin Tian had completed the task exploding flowers. It was written in the system that if the difference in the levels of the owner and the beast is great, it will lead to an explosion and other damage. Lin Tian received a new technique called Luo Yun's Palm and he had a breakthrough and acquired a new rank of warrior. Lin Tian did not believe his luck and did not believe that he had killed this beast and wondered if someone would dare to throw mud at him. Lin Tian thought that now that he had become a warrior, he could save Yun'er and he could buy elixirs of weapons and equipment. Lin Tian was shocked because he had access to buy even the most valuable alchemical elixirs and it was cool. Lin Tian asked the gang people not to stand still and they had to go and divide the treasures because the beast was no longer there. But suddenly the gang leader told Murong that he could not defeat him even if he had a strong assistant like Lin Tian. The gang leader told Murong and Lin Tian that he would finish them both off and feed them to the demonic beast and not have any regrets. But Lin Tian used the brutal collision technique and asked the head how such a nonentity could talk about this. It was written in the system that Lin Tian completed the task of pretending to be a sheep and eating a wolf and he became a second-level warrior. Murong thanked Lin Tian for saving his life and he did not know how to say thank you to such a brave hero as Lin Tian. Lin Tian told Murong that he need not thank him and asked him to go and find the treasure and divide it equally. Murong was shocked and couldn't believe Lin Tian's words and asked if he really wanted to share the treasures with him and was so kind. Lin Tian was surprised by Murong's reaction and asked if he didn't want treasure and become a rich man in the village. Murong said that he really wants to become rich and find treasures and immediately ran after Lin Tian and asked him to wait for him. Lin Tian noticed that the treasure was flying fish seaweed and it was one of the treasures of heaven and earth and could increase strength. Flying fish algae cost 1,000 gold pieces, but it could not be used in water because it melted when it entered the water. Lin Tian was very happy with the treasure and thought that he was very lucky and would be able to sell the flying fish seaweed at a higher price. But suddenly a task appeared in the system for Lin Tian and he had to brew tea and put this herb there and drink it. Lin Tian was furious with this task and thought that the system was so stupid and gave stupid tasks and he didn't want it. Lin Tian turned around and asked Murong if he had a bowl of water and he was very surprised by such a question from the hero Lin Tian. Murong gave Lin Tian Sasha and asked why he needed it and Lin Tian said that he wanted to drink tea from this seaweed. Murong was surprised by Lin Tian's answer and told him that this treasure could not be put in water because it was losing value. Lin Tian smiled and told Murong that he might not believe him, but he liked to do strange things and was interested in it. Lin Tian put the valuable herb into the boiled water and told Murong that he could not live a day without this wonderful drink. Lin Tian immediately drank this tea and the task of brewing the tea was completed and his level increased to the 4th level of warrior. Lin Tian was happy and couldn't believe that he had gained experience and needed to buy a new water tank to drink from. Murong froze in surprise and was in shock because he couldn't believe that Lin Tian just drank it and it was wasted wastefulness. Lin Tian told Murong that everything was fine and he would still get used to it and they would still find many new treasures. Lin Tian asked Murong where he was going and Murong said that he had been away from home for a long time and missed home. Lin Tian told Murong that he had already achieved his goal and invited him to go to his home together because it's more fun together. And then suddenly Lin Tian heard some sounds behind him and felt that the system had again prepared new surprises for him. Lin Tian thought that the system would again send him on a deadly mission where it would be very dangerous and he could be eaten alive. Murong turned around and became nervous and told Lin Tian that there was a robber there and he was wondering what was happening nearby. Lin Tian asked Murong what he wanted to tell him with this and was he really supposed to save everyone without hesitation? Murong smiled and told Lin Tian that when he saw something unfair, he should help defenseless people. Suddenly, an armed assistance mission appeared in the system and Lin Tian had to defeat the robbers and save the victim. Lin Tian told Murong that he had good hearing and called him Mr. Savior and a freedom fighter for the people. At this time the robbers were laughing at the poor man and calling him a pig and they were all armed and dangerous. Murong saw that the robbers were threatening this man and told Lin Tian that this man was really in trouble and needed help. And then suddenly Lin Tian approached these robbers and he urged them to listen to their conscience and their hearts and do good. Murong suggested that brother Lin Tian first save that person and then lecture on kindness to these robbers. And then suddenly Lin Tian quickly ran towards the robbers and quickly smashed these bandits and they could not do anything. Murong looked at this and froze in surprise and realized that Lin Tian was very cruel but at the same time very cool. The system gave Lin Tian a lot of experience for defeating the bandits and the armed assistance quest was completed with perfection. Lin Tian stood and was proud of himself and he thought that being a hero was so easy and he really liked it and did not want to back down. Immediately after, a mission appeared in the system and Lin Tian had to perform artificial respiration for the victim of General Han. Lin Tian froze in surprise and was in shock and wondered why the system gave him a stupid task and he didn't want to complete it. Lin Tian screamed and was angry at the system and asked why it didn't immediately give him the task of kissing a pig because it was cool. Suddenly, a notification appeared in the system for Lin Tian that she would give him such a task next time if he wanted it so much. Murong sat next to General Han and told Lin Tian that this man was unconscious and asked what they could do with him. Lin Tian realized that he had to sacrifice his first kiss for the sake of the task, otherwise he risked losing his intellect. Lin Tian did not want to do this and he told Murong that this man would now waste his first kiss and it was sad. Murong was very surprised and asked Lin Tian what he was doing and said that he didn't need to be so desperate and sad about it. Lin Tian cried and asked Murong to stop talking and said that he really loved saving people and was ready to do anything for this. And immediately information appeared in the system that the task was completed and Lin Tian raised his level to the 5th level. Lin Tian was sick of this task and he didn't like that the system was setting him up like that and he didn't want to do anything else. General Han woke up and told Lin Tian that nothing had happened and he shouldn't have been so desperate, but he told him to shut up now. Murong told General Han that this man was Lin Tian and he saved his life because otherwise the bandits would have cut him into pieces. General Han told Lin Tian that if he saved his life, he would turn a blind eye to everything towards him and let him go now. Lin Tian was very angry with General Han and asked how he spoke to his savior and called him ungrateful. General Han told Lin Tian that he only spared him last time because he saved his life and he didn't like what he did. Lin Tian told General Han to shut up and said that he no longer wanted to listen to him and he was not worthy of being helped. Murong smiled and told Lin Tian that after this act, he and General Han became very close and became best friends. General Han told Lin Tian that brother Murong was right and from now on he would be his friend and treat them to lunch in Han City. Murong asked General Han to leave this for another time and said that now he had to return to Qingqing City where they were waiting for him. Lin Tian told General Han that he also did not have time for this and he would also leave with his husband so that he would not be bored. General Han asked Lin Tian not to leave and said that today there would be an auction in Han City and asked if he would like to come and see. And then an auction mission appeared in the system and Lin Tian had to go with him to the auction and stay until it ended. Lin Tian's mood fell and he thought that he did not have time to go to the auction and he first needed to save Yuner. Lin Tian realized that he had no choice and the system forced him to kiss this pig and the auction sounded not scary in comparison. And at the auction everyone was invited to take part in the auction and before starting this he would like to say a few words. The host said that their first lot was was an Earth-grade inner pill with a starting price of 20,000 coins. Lin Tian said that 20,000 coins per pill was too expensive and it would not cost more than 200 copper coins. General Han asked Lin Tian if he really wanted to say that there were fools sitting there and said that only alchemists could create pills. And then suddenly one of the people offered 21,000 and people thought it was really a pill master and he came there. People said that it was clear that he would be the one to make such a bet on this pill because he was the best alchemist in the empire. Lin Tian thought that he didn't care how good alchemy was because he could still afford to buy whatever he wanted there. And then a mission appeared in the system to buy an earthly level pill and Lin Tian realized that he had to do this at all costs. And then suddenly Lin Tian shouted and told all the people that they would not get what they wanted and offered 22,000 money. The pill master got angry and wondered who this impudent guy was and suddenly raised his offer to 23,000. General Han asked brother Lin Tian if he was really stupid and he was not an alchemist and why he needed this pill. Lin Tian told General Han that he himself was stupid and his entire family was stupid and suddenly raised the price to 30,000. The pill master approached Lin Tian and said that they did not know alchemy and why did they compete with him for this expensive pill. Lin Tian told the pill master that he was too rich and could not do anything about it and he liked to buy everything. Lin Tian smiled and asked the pill master, who told him that he didn't know how to make pills because no one could know about it. The master was surprised and wondered if Lin Tian really knew how to make pills and asked why don't they organize a competition for the best quality. And then suddenly a quest competition with the pill master started in the system and he was interested in trying his hand. Lin Tian stood up and told the pill master that he wanted him to start first and wanted to see what he was capable of. Lin Tian told the master that he had a system trading center for exchange and it didn't matter to him because he would win anyway. And then suddenly the pill master began to cast magic and everyone realized that it was not for nothing that everyone called him the master and he was very strong in his work. The pill master collected a lot of useful substances in his hand and said that this was a top-grade pill and nothing could compare with it. People thought that the pill master was a very experienced and powerful alchemist and it was clear to them that Lin Tian would lose to him very easily. People said that Lin Tian didn't even know how to make pills and he would definitely lose. But suddenly he opened the system and chose a pill. And then suddenly a perfect pill appeared in front of Lin Tian and people froze in surprise and were in shock and did not understand how this was possible. All the people were shocked and wondered if Lin Tian really knew how to make pills and was more talented than the pill master. The pill master approached Lin Tian and took this pill in his hands and froze in surprise and said that this pill was of the highest class. Suddenly, the pill master fell to his knees and asked Lin Tian to let him become his disciple and learn interesting secrets. The master begged Lin Tian and was ready to become his student. Although he was much younger than him, he was not at all ashamed of it. The system notified Lin Tian that the auction task had been completed and he asked the master to stand up and wanted to tell him something. Lin Tian told the master that this year he did not recruit students and promised to accept him next year and the master was happy. Lin Tian was surprised by the master's behavior and asked him to stop doing this and said that he behaved very strangely for his age. The host told Master Lin Tian that he would like to give him the elixir of demonic monster entrails directly from the auction house. Lin Tian said that he would agree to this but only on one condition, that he pay for the elixir and not receive it for free. Lin Tian completed the task of buying a pill and the master told him that he was wonderful in everything and had great talent. Lin Tian asked the master to stop worshipping him and thought that he should not have stayed there in time to save Yuner. The host said that the last item in the auction was an unidentified two-handed sword with a starting price of 1,000 coins. And then the system gave Lin Tian a task and he had to place a bid on a two-handed sword and the price would be no less than 20,000. Lin Tian wondered if he was a stupid rich man for the system, because 20,000 coins could buy an entire cart. Lin Tian said that he was betting 20,000 coins and asked everyone to quickly finish this auction and immediately go home. The pill master approached Lin Tian and asked his brother if he knew how to evaluate weapons, but he said that he bought it to cut pies. General Han approached Lin Tian and asked his brother if he really wanted to use this sword like that, and Lin asked him to hurry up. Lin Tian told General Han that he was in a hurry and they would talk later, and asked him not to follow him around. And then suddenly the Pill Master started chasing Lin Tian and asked his brother to wait for him and said that old age was not a joy. Lin Tian finally completed the task and took part in the auction, and his rank increased and became level 7, and it was cool. Lin Tian thought that he had finally broken away from the old man, and he ran too well for his age and was in good shape. But then suddenly a task appeared in the system for Lin Tian, and he had to break a two-handed sword, and he quickly did it. Lin Tian hit the stone with a broken sword and thought that he didn't even cut the cake, and the system wanted to deprive him of 20,000. And suddenly the repair of the heavenly sword was started, and Lin Tian was glad that it was a legendary weapon and he acquired a valuable artifact. Lin Tian thought that he was very lucky, and now he could defeat the scoundrels from the Lee family and defeat them as easily as vegetables. And then a task appeared in the system for Lin Tian to infiltrate the Lee family's house, and he had to complete it in an hour. Lin Tian was happy about such a task and quietly began to make his way through the wall into the Lee family's house to save sweet Yuner from the scoundrel. Li Shuai at this time asked Yuner not to be afraid and said that he would not hurt her, but she called him a scoundrel and an idiot. Li Shuai tied up Yuner and held her captive, and he said that it was better for her to obey him and forget about her brother Lin Tian forever. Li Shuai told Yuner that Lin Tian was a weakling and he didn't even dare to come to her aid and left her there in danger. And then suddenly Lin Tian suddenly appeared there and kicked the door and told Li Shuai that he was a dishonest bastard with no shame. Li Shuai was very surprised and shocked when he saw Lin Tian there, and he asked him how he was able to get there and get past security. Yuner was happy to see Mr. Lin Tian and told him that she knew that he would come there to save her from the evil Li Shuai. Lin Tian ran up to Li Shuai and hit him in the stomach and said that this was him for the Lin family and he treated them like a scoundrel. And then suddenly Lin Tian hit Li Shuai with all his might between the legs and said that it was for him for Yuner, and he got what he deserved. Lin completed the task of saving Yuner and she was glad that he saved her, and suddenly the guard said that there was a killer in Li Shuai's room. And then suddenly the task changed and breaking into the house was replaced by provocation and teaching Li Shuai a lesson for his deeds. The guards entered Li Shuai's room and asked the young master if he was okay and told Lin Tian to release him immediately. Lin grabbed Li Shuai by the head and told people if they didn't want him to send him to the next world, they should call Li Dafeng. Suddenly at that moment a man ran into the room and asked his people who created so many problems for them and made so much noise. Lin Tian realized that this was a key figure second only to the head of the Li family, and he was an 8th rank peak master. The family fighter said that he kept thinking that he caused a commotion there and it was the scum from the Lin family who injured junior brother Li. Lin Tian asked the family fighter if he really wanted to die and quickly ran towards him and wanted to attack the strong member of the Li family. Suddenly, Lin Tian dealt a powerful blow to the family fighter, and he learned that Lin Tian was very strong and did not underestimate him at first. The fighter was slammed into the wall by the blow and was very surprised and thought how it was possible because he was the strongest of the Li family. Lin Tian ran up to the fighter and continued to attack him and said that now he would end and he could not resist him. Lin Tian gained experience for ridding this world of the Li family fighter, and he updated the charged attack and he had the level of Suyuan. Lin told the other guards that if they did not want to end up like the family fighter, they should bring Litang to him. Lin Tian went out into the courtyard and saw Litang and told him that he thought that he would not dare to come there because he considered him a real coward. Suddenly Lin Tian ordered Litang to defend himself and threw the family fighter at him, and Litang was surprised to see his motionless body. Lin Tian was happy because he completed the provocation task and managed to piss off the Li family member and was furious at his antics. Litang told Lin Tian that he couldn't believe that he missed him when he killed the Lin family and he was not happy to see him again. Litang was very angry and asked Lin Tian to tell him how he wanted to die, and he was happy to kill a member of the Lin family again. Suddenly, a quest was launched in Lin Tian's system to defeat Litang and find out the whole truth about the destruction of the Lin family. Lin Tian told Litang that he wanted to celebrate his centenary with a smile on his face at the grave of their Li family. Lin Tian began to attack Litang and he expected this from him, but the most powerful man in Hatsuba City would die at his hands. Litang told Lin Tian that he was very mistaken and struck a heaven-destroying blow, and a brutal massacre began between them. Lin Tian approached Litang and used the wild charge skill and a powerful palm, and Litang flew away from such a blow. Lin Tian put his foot on Litang and asked him to tell him why he wanted to destroy the Lin family and what they did to them. Lin Tian told Litang that his breath stank and said that he was asking for the last time and why he wanted to destroy their family. Lin Tian continued to interrogate Litang and wanted to hear the answers to his questions, but suddenly a silhouette appeared behind him. Someone told Lin Tian to stop this interrogation, and suddenly a bright glow appeared in front of Lin Tian and blinded him. Suddenly, someone's hand lightly slapped Lin Tian on his shoulder and attracted his attention, and he wondered who could have done this to him. Lin Tian noticed that a tall man was standing in front of him, and he told Lin Jr. that he was not welcome in this city, and he was angry. Lin Tian realized that it was the master, and it seems that the Lord of Hatsuba City were part of the group that destroyed the Lin family, and there was a secret. Suddenly Lin Tian completed the research task, and the system notified him that the system would be automatically updated. Lin Tian was shocked and thought what kind of update it was and wondered if he could roll it back if it was bad. Lin Tian told the city lord that he did not expect them to unite against the Lin family and why they needed it and what they wanted. Lord Hatsuba City told Lin Tian that the dead didn't need to know anything and he was asking too many unnecessary questions. Lin Tian thought that it was not too late to take revenge, but if he fights now, he will die because the forces were unequal. And then suddenly a mission appeared in the system where Lin Tian had to fight the lord of the city, and he could not believe it. Lin Tian was very angry with the city lord and called him a bastard and said that he could not expect mercy from him for his deeds. Lord Hatsuba City smiled and his appearance began to become scary, and he asked Lin Tian if he was scared. The city lord said that Lin Tian would not be able to leave there, and Lin Tian realized that the system again wanted his death and gave him such tasks. The city lord began to attack Lin Tian, and he told the old man that he thought too highly of himself and he overestimated his strength. Lin Tian told the city lord that he was afraid that he was too old to take a couple of his blows and stand on his feet. Lin Tian wanted to stop the city lord's blow, but he hit him and Lin Tian received a strong blow to his face and flew away somewhere. Lin Tian successfully completed his task, and the system asked him for an update and he agreed for it to begin its update. But the update started to go too slowly, and Lin Tian didn't know that it would take so long, and he thought that he would die before that. The Lord approached Lin Tian and told the kid that the Lin family needed him and asked him to allow him to send him to his family in the next world. But suddenly Yun'er appeared in front of the city lord and began to protect Lin Tian so that he had time to recover from his injuries. Yun'er told Lin Tian that she would detain the city lord and asked him to run away from there as quickly as possible. The lord of the city smiled and said what a pair of lovebirds they were, and said that he would do a good deed and send them to hell together. Suddenly the pill master appeared there and told the city lord to let his master go, and he didn't want him to suffer at his hands. The city lord turned around and was shocked to see a medicine master there and thought what he needed there and who he called his master. The city lord approached the medicine master and asked him who his master was because he was very interested and curious. But suddenly the medicine master approached the lying Lin Tian and gave him a healing pill and asked the master how he was feeling. Lin Tian thanked the old alchemist for his help and kindness and said that he was a good person and always helped everyone. Lin Tian asked the medicine master why he called him teacher because he was his teacher for only one day today. Lin Tian told the medicine master that he could stop calling him teacher because he was only 18 years old and he was young. The medicine master smiled and told Lin Tian that his young teacher was so funny and said that he was 90 years old. Lin Tian was very surprised to learn the real age of the medical master because he thought that he was younger because he looked great. Lin Tian told the medicine master that he would pay him double the price for that pill because he wanted to try it now. The medical master told the teacher that it was provided to him by the auction house and not by him, and he did not have any access to it. Lin Tian said to the medical guru, did he really refuse freebies, and said that it seems he took the wrong person as his disciple. The medical master smiled and told the teacher that he had finally recognized him as his student and he could not go back on his words. The medical guru told Lin Tian that then his fiancée would not be able to bear him children, and he said that he would expel him for such words. The master of medicine told the teacher that he could not leave him in trouble and he wanted to protect him always so that no one could harm him. And then suddenly Lin Tian and the medicine master turned around and saw that the city lord was sitting next to Litang and wanted to help him. The medicine master looked at Litang angrily and suggested that Lin Tian interrogate one of them, and he immediately agreed with him. Litang asked Lin Tian to listen to him and said that one of the elders of the Immortal Gate of Darkness clan ordered him to do so. Litang asked Lin Tian for forgiveness and said that it was not his fault and he himself did not want to do this and he was forced to do so. Lin Tian thought that the Dark Gate Immortal clan was the biggest clan in the empire. But why did they do this? And then Lin Tian grabbed Litang by the scruff of the neck and ordered him to tell him who this old man was who gave this order and disappeared from everyone. Litang begged to be let go and told Lin Tian that he really didn't know him and he only knew that he was very strong and powerful. Lin Tian asked Litang if he really didn't know anything and said that he didn't need his hand and grabbed it tightly. The medicine master approached Lin Tian and asked him if it was too cruel, and he thought that he really didn't know the answer. The medical master told the teacher that if Litang could not answer this question, he could ask him about something else. Suddenly, the medicine master told the teacher that he had clarified everything for him and the head of the clan of the Immortal Gate of Darkness had one disease. Suddenly, Lin Tian was very surprised and shocked because he learned from the medicine guru that the head of the Gate of Darkness had a disease on his fifth point. Lin Tian asked the medicine master how he knew about this information and was curious to know the method of obtaining the answer. The medicine master pointed his finger at the city lord and told Lin Tian that he was the one who told him all the information he needed. Lin Tian was surprised and asked the medical master if his way of negotiating was different from his method and was more effective. Lin Tian wondered if the city lord even knew about such a disease, then why didn't he know his name and what he looked like? The medical master told the teacher that the heads were wearing masks when they came to hand over the task and one of them had an aggravation of this disease. Lin Tian asked how something as tragic as the destruction of the Lin family could be related to some kind of human illness. The medicine master and Lin Tian were discussing the further plan of action, and then suddenly someone told Master Lin, was he really there? Suddenly a man with a shining and shaved head appeared in front of them and asked Master Lin if he was there too. Lin Tian and the medicine master closed their eyes as the glow from this man blinded them and asked what he needed. The man told Lin Tian that he was from the Double Luck auction house and the head sent him there to personally say hello to him. Lin Tian thought that it seemed like he wanted to ask him to make pills for the auction house, but he needed to wait for the system to work properly. Lin Tian agreed to this man's conditions and asked to lead them there and invited Yuner to go with them and it would be interesting. The medical master said goodbye to teacher Lin Tian and asked to call him when he needed him and he would always be at his service. Lin Tian told the medicine guru that he was not some kind of animal to call him and he himself could do anything at any time. The man told Master Lin Tian that their auction house wanted him to make 3 pills a month for them and they were grateful. But then suddenly Lin Tian opened the system and said that he had already made them, everything was ready, and showed 3 ideal and best pills. Lin Tian handed them these perfect pills and said that they just needed to pay and they could pick them up at any time. Suddenly the system update was completed and the fusion option and decomposition option became available to Lin Tian and it was cool. Lin Tian now had a super lethal system and was the Emperor of Destruction and could develop a heavenly strike. Lin Tian learned that the system now showed accepted side and main quests and tasks and they were divided among themselves. Lin Tian could fuse any item of the same type using fusion and had a chance to create a high quality item. Lin Tian, with the help of decomposition, could decompose any object to gain some experience and coins and could save coins. Lin Tian was very happy that the update was finally completed and many new features were now available to him. Lin Tian saw the new features and thought what it was and he definitely needed to take advantage of this opportunity as soon as possible. The man from the auction told Lin Tian that he couldn't believe it, that the pills were ready so quickly and they were very valuable. The man told Lin Tian that even the head made an exception to meet him in person and asked him to come visit them. Suddenly the system launched a task for Lin Tian and he had to refuse the invitation and ask the head to come to him in person. Lin Tian smiled and thought that he really had to pretend to be a fool and it was very interesting for him. Suddenly, Lin Tian told the man from the auction that he would not go there and he was not the kind of person who could be easily invited. Lin Tian told the man from the auction that if their head wanted to see him, then he could come to him in person and invite him there. The man from the auction got nervous and told Lin Tian that he was afraid that it was impossible because the head was a busy person. And then suddenly some girl came there and asked Master Lin Tian not to rush because he had a lot of time. The woman introduced herself and said that her name was Hong Linger, and she told Master Lin Tian that she was the head of the auction house. The task called Let Him Call Me was completed, and Lin Tian even received points for his success in pretending to be a fool. Lin Tian was shocked because he realized that the head of the auction house was a beauty, and he thought that it would be some man. Hong Linger said that from now on, Lin could only spend money at their auction house and receive a 10% discount. Lin Tian thought and realized that he really enjoyed spending time with this beauty, and why don't they do this more often? Suddenly the ground in this room began to test, and Lin Tian got scared and jumped into Yun'er's arms and said that it was an earthquake. Yun'er told Mr. Lin Tian that it was not an earthquake and asked him to look behind him and said that he was getting closer. Suddenly Lin Tian noticed that General Han was running towards him with all his might and telling him that he really missed his best friend. Lin Tian immediately became nervous and told General Han to get out of there and said that he didn't know him and didn't know why he went to see him. Yun'er was surprised and asked Mr. Lin Tian if it was really his best friend, because he came to kiss him like a best friend. Lin Tian asked Yun'er to stop talking nonsense and said that this was the first time he had seen this person and he was wondering who he was. General Han told Lin Tian that recently a treasure was found in the Battle of the Gods and he wanted to go there with him to find the treasure. Immediately after his arrival, the treasure search task was activated and Lin Tian had to go to the monument to the god of war. Lin Tian thought that this man had cheat codes, and every time he met him a quest appeared and he didn't like it. Lin Tian was sure that the system could not be convinced, and he ordered General Han to tell him where his treasures were and not to interfere with him. General Han told Lin Tian that he had not seen his best friend for a long time and asked if he was not happy to see him again. Lin Tian got angry and asked General Han if he had seen his huge fist, and if he didn't stop this, his face would be minced meat. General Han immediately became serious after Lin Tian's words and told him that he heard that it was on the outskirts of the battlefield of the gods. General Khan said that he did not know the exact place and said that he would come now and asked to wait for him at the auction house. Yun'er told Master Lin Tian that he was amazing and had so many good friends, and she was very happy for him. After Lin Tian and General Han got ready for the journey and took everything they needed, a journey awaited them and many interesting events lay ahead. Lin Tian and General Han sat near the fire, and Han ate food non-stop, and all the time he talked to his friend only about delicious food. Lin Tian was surprised by General Han's appetite and asked how much food he took with him and whether his stomach was a bottomless hole. General Han asked brother Lin Tian not to worry and said that they would have enough food for a whole year and he would not let his friend go hungry. And then suddenly General Han pointed his finger somewhere to the side and told brother Lin Tian that there was definitely someone there, and he heard it. Lin Tian immediately became worried and covered General Han's mouth and asked him not to shout or stick his head out or make any sounds. But suddenly General Han shouted and told Lin Tian that he was so smart and he admired him and he wanted to become such a genius. But then Lin Tian asked the fool General Han to shut up, and suddenly nearby they heard a very loud roar and got scared. General Han was very scared and hid behind his friend, and Lin Tian said that the brain was a good thing but he didn't have one. Lin Tian quietly walked towards these sounds and noticed that there were some people fighting among themselves, and there were a lot of them. General Han stood and he didn't want to go further, and he asked Lin Tian to leave there and said that he didn't like it there at all. Lin Tian told General Han that there were treasures there and asked how they could get them if they left there halfway now. General Han told Lin Tian that he had a great idea and they could come for the treasure another time when it was warm. Lin Tian told General Han that he didn't care what he wanted and he could go back alone if he didn't want to go further. Lin Tian shouted and said that he would go alone for this treasure and thought that the system would help him, and he immediately went into battle. Lin Tian went to these hooligans and used the Furious Fist and Heavenly Cloud Palm technique and quickly dealt with everyone. General Han froze in surprise and was in shock because Lin Tian said that it was as easy as shelling pears, and it was amazing. But then suddenly Lin Tian was shocked and did not move from his place because he saw something that he clearly did not expect to see there and did not know what to do. Lin Tian noticed that there was a giant abyss there and it was very high, and he thought that if he jumped from there he would be finished. Lin Tian thought for a couple of minutes and had a great idea and tied a rope to a tree and decided that he would try to do this. Suddenly Lin Tian jumped into this abyss and said that today nothing would stop him because he was serious about treasures. Lin Tian landed at the bottom of this abyss and thought that at first he was scared, but he coped with this difficult task. And then suddenly a man told Lin Tian that he didn't think that there would be anyone who could go down there, and it happened. Lin Tian was very surprised and shocked and asked the man who he was and what he was doing there because he thought that there was no one there. The man said that his name was Dao Xian and he was the head of the Yihai sect, and asked the brave and courageous Lin Tian who he himself was. Lin Tian thought that the cities of Qingzhou and Wudu were separated by 100,000 miles and this old man had traveled a long way to get there. Lin Tian pondered and thought that it was interesting, and he knew that the old man was clearly planning something evil, but he didn't know what exactly. And then suddenly Lin Tian received a new task from the system and had to provoke Dao Xian and hit him in the face. Lin Tian thought that this was a strange task and he hoped that this slap in the face would not cost him his life and everything would be fine. Suddenly Lin Tian asked Dao Xian who he thought he was and how dare he ask him questions, and was he really that brave. The old people told Lin Tian that they found out that he was a very boastful person and did not stand out for his modesty and kindness. Lin Tian thought that these two old men were very funny and cheerful, but he did not understand why they were holding this block of stone. Lin Tian approached the old men and asked what they were doing there and thought that he would now make these old men angry. And then suddenly Lin Tian slapped the old man in the face with all his might, and the old man was surprised and thought, why did he do this to him? Lin Tian completed the task of provocation and the score of pretense was low, but for the value of pretense he received one more experience. The old men argued among themselves and said to each other that they were stupid, and did they really want him to get the treasure? The old man asked what he could do, and if his comrade didn't like it, he could let go of the stone and hit Lin Tian. Lin Tian walked up to the stone and took the ring from there, and the seal of the ring was so strong that the owner could not break it now. But then suddenly Han shouted to Lin Tian and told him that trouble had happened and Yunar's bride was captured by the mercenaries of the Foggy Night. Lin Tian was shocked by such words and thought, how could this happen, and he should not have left her even for a second. Lin Tian quickly got out of there and asked General Han if Yunar had been captured and where these mercenaries were now. General Han told Lin Tian that the mercenary union is located outside the city and they are there most often at such times. Lin Tian was very angry and immediately rushed to Yunar's aid and asked her not to despair and said that he was coming to her. Lin Tian quickly climbed the trees and thought that he would punish these evil scoundrels, and he did not like their behavior. Lin Tian quickly found the Foggy Night mercenaries and ordered them to release Yunar immediately, and they were dishonest and arrogant scoundrels. The Misty Night mercenaries held Yunar in their hands and she asked Mr. Lin Tian, and she only hoped for his help. The leader of the Misty Night mercenaries told Lin Tian that he was preventing him from doing his job and told him to get out of there now. Lin Tian was very angry and told the mercenary leader that he was a corpse and ran up to him and wanted to use a fury strike. The mercenary leader wondered if Lin Tian was a first-class martial artist and used an iron fist strike. Lin Tian told the leader of the mercenaries that his techniques were not scary to him and hit him with the palm of a heavenly cloud in the head area. The leader of the mercenaries was exposed and fell to the ground, and Lin Tian hugged Yunar and told her that everything was fine and it was all over. Lin Tian quickly dealt with all the mercenaries and took Yunar in his arms and said that this would happen to anyone who offended his beauty. Yunar asked Mr. Lin Tian where they were going, and he said that they had gathered in the Xian Kong clan to find the head with the disease. And then General Han ran up to him and told brother Lin Tian that he had finally caught up with him and asked if everything was okay with his wife. Lin Tian told General Han that Yunar was fine and asked him if he happened to know how to get into the Xian Kong sect. General Han told Lin Tian that in 3 days, the Xian Kong sect would select the best disciples to join them in the competition. Lin Tian was happy and said that this time Lin Tian from the Lin family will win this competition and show them what they are capable of. General Han told Lin Tian that if they win this competition, they will get into the Xian Kong sect together, which is great. Lin Tian thought that if this competition required eating food, then the Big Han would definitely defeat everyone without any problems. Lin Tian thought that they still had 3 days to prepare and they should quickly start training with all their might. And then suddenly someone called Lin Tian a dog and told him to get out of his way because he was in the way of his movement and he didn't like him. Lin Tian was very surprised and asked the stranger who he called a dog and wanted to teach the impudent person a lesson for such rude words addressed to them. And then a man came out to them and asked Mr. not to be angry, and he called Lin Tian a hillbilly and said that he didn't know what he was doing. The rude man told the man that he had nothing to do lately and wanted to take advantage of the moment. But suddenly the guy told Lin Tian that he would compete with him to determine which of the two was eligible to participate. Lin Tian was surprised and asked the rude man if he was really suitable to participate in the competition, and he himself was very interested in this competition. And then suddenly Lin Tian showed the card to this man and asked if it was a diamond card and could he believe it? Yuner told young master Lin Tian that it was great and not everyone in this world could boast of such a card. The rude man froze in surprise and was in shock and could not believe that this young master Lin Tian was as rich as he thought. The man also froze in surprise and asked Lin Tian if he really had a diamond card and how was this possible. But then suddenly the man fell to his knees and told Lin Tian that he was wrong and asked for his forgiveness and he could do anything. Lin Tian smiled at the man and said that he had one request and he wanted his carriage to be completely covered in gold. A couple of minutes later, Lin Tian and Yuner were riding on a carriage and Lin Tian told her that he could get much more benefit from this money. Yuner told Master Lin Tian that he was so refined and she envied him for being able to get out of any situation. And 3 days later, Lin Tian and Lin Yuner went to the competition site on a golden carriage and were ready for the tournament. The host said that the best participants in this tournament will have a chance to be chosen by the Xian Kong sect as external disciples. People thought there was really a chance to get into the Xian Kong sect and they wanted to tell all people to buy the pills. And then Lin Tian received the task of challenging everyone in the city of Hatsuba and loudly declaring that he was ready to fight everyone. And at that moment, Lin Tian's carriage suddenly appeared in Hatsuba city and people were surprised where such a radiance came from. And then suddenly Lin Tian immediately jumped out of the carriage straight to where the competition was taking place and stood in the middle. Suddenly, Lin Tian loudly declared to everyone that he alone, on behalf of the Lin family, was challenging all of them at once and was ready to do anything. People were surprised and did not understand whether Lin Tian was the only one challenging them and this was the madness of a crazy person. But one spectator said that Master Lin Tian's height was almost 3 meters and he was handsome and a very strong participant in the tournament. Lin Tian waved his hand to the spectators and thought that he already had fans there and he wanted to please them in the tournament. The host approached Lin Tian and said that since the beginning of the tournament they had not seen such a contender and he was very self-confident. Lin Tian told the people that if they won, he would give them the pills and they were shocked because they were of the highest class. People realized that these pills could not be found anywhere and they all agreed to participate in the tournament and try to win Lin Tian. People thought that Lin Tian would not be able to defeat them if they all rushed at him together, then he would not be able to defeat them all. Suddenly Lin Tian began to defeat all the people and it was easy and they flew in different directions and did not know what to do. People said that they were dizzy and already regretted their participation and wanted to quickly return home and relax. The host froze in surprise and was shocked and Lin Tian told him that now he could announce the results of the competition. The host said that Lin Tian from the Lin family took first place in this tournament and he was worthy of joining the Xian Kong sect. Yuner told Master Lin Tian that he was the best and strongest and she always believed that he had no equal in this tournament. Lin Tian told Yuner that he didn't need admiration because he knew that he was beautiful and was 100% confident of victory. Lin Tian quickly dealt with all the affairs in the city of Hatsuba and left there and he was wondering what adventures awaited him next. The task of defeating everyone was completed and Lin Tian was glad that he had raised his level to the 3rd and it was very cool. At this time, in Mount Xian Kong and in the sect of the same name, a person told people that they could become disciples of the sect after trials. The man said that the Xian Kong sect was the first in the world and now they could become a part of it and this was an important moment for them. To become disciples, people had to get the approval of their elders, but Lin Tian's abilities were at a very high level. Suddenly a carriage appeared there and people thought what kind of light it was, and it blinded their eyes and was simply magical. And then suddenly Lin Tian jumped out of the carriage and told the people that this was what he wanted and was glad that they liked his carriage. And immediately General Han ran up to Lin Tian and told his brother that his carriage was very cool, but why hadn't he seen it before? Lin Tian was very surprised to see General Han and wondered if he, too, was able to get into the Xian Kong sect, and he underestimated him. General Han examined the carriage and asked brother Lin Tian where the beauty Yuner had gone because he wanted to say good afternoon to her. Lin Tian said that Yuner had to stay and wait for him because only those who won the tournament got there and she had no place there. The man from the clan wanted silence and told the people that he would tell about the requirements of the exam and everyone should go into the cave and come out. He said that the first person will be able to become students of the clan and the rest will be eliminated and the exam will last 1 day. A man from the Xian Kong clan told everyone that the exam would start now and all the people were happy and immediately quickly ran into the cave. Lin Tian asked General Han not to leave and follow him, and he said that he would follow him like a dog following a bone. Lin Tian and General Han entered the cave and it was dark there and they explored the cave together to find a way out and win. But suddenly some participant stood in front of them and ordered Lin Tian to give everything they had and get out of there on good terms. General Han was surprised and asked brother Lin Tian what they needed to do and maybe they should have quickly run away from these robbers. Lin Tian said that these robbers with such orders could go to the kindergarten and asked General Han to stand and applaud him. General Han was very happy and told brother Lin Tian that he was the bravest fighter he had ever met in his entire life. And immediately a task called the Wooden Man appeared in the system and Lin Tian had to overcome without using his arms and legs. Lin Tian smiled at the robbers and said that he had a special surprise for them and he was sure that they would highly appreciate it. The robber became interested and asked Lin Tian what he meant and asked him to let him look at this surprise and evaluate it. But then suddenly Lin Tian ran up to the robber and hit him with his butt with all his might and the robber was shocked by this. The robber collided with his friend and they fell to the ground and immediately fell behind Lin Tian and realized that they had now made a mistake. General Han immediately approached Lin Tian and told his brother that he didn't expect that he could deal with these bandits so easily and that's cool. Afterwards, they continued on their way and explored the cave and General Han asked brother Lin Tian what that strong smell was. Suddenly Lin Tian told General Han that it was the smell of blood and Han could not believe his friend's words and was very scared by this. There were people near the losing people lying on the ground and Lin Tian asked them who they were and asked them to introduce themselves. There were 2 people standing there and they asked Lin Tian if he was really interested in finding out who they were and they said that it was none of his business. The fighters jumped towards Lin Tian and said that he would now get the answer to his question and they were the ones who would finish him off now. These fighters were like one whole and they wanted to quickly finish off Lin Tian in order to have time to do what they did not have time to do. Lin Tian saw them and was very surprised and shocked and asked what was going on there now and were the fighters really shadow clones. Lin Tian used the cloud palm technique but was unable to hit the enemy as they were very fast and difficult to catch. Suddenly Lin Tian turned around and noticed that one of the fighters had almost taken him by surprise and he realized that they were very strong and cunning. One of the fighters asked Lin Tian if he was a 3rd level master and said that he was a genius among his peers. The fighters said that they were also gifted and he would not be able to avoid their attacks and they loved killing geniuses like Lin Tian. Lin Tian thought that these fighters attacked one after another and he did not know how strong they were and whether he could enjoy the fight. Suddenly, General Han shouted to Lin Tian and told him that the fighter who was to his right was 100% fake. Lin Tian called the fighter a pathetic insect and said that now he could utter his last words before suffering. The fighter was very surprised and thought how Lin Tian was able to recognize his technique because he thought that he had calculated everything and made no mistakes. Lin Tian approached the fighter and hit him with all his might with the cloud palm technique and the fighter was immediately defeated and punished for his words. The system immediately notified Lin Tian that he had completed the task and finished off special characters, although it was not so easy for him. But suddenly the ground began to crack and someone told Lin Tian that finally someone broke his seal and he was very happy. The voice told Lin Tian that he had been waiting for hundreds of years for this moment to see the light again and a side story was activated. Suddenly, some spirit appeared in front of Lin Tian and he was glad that he was free and could now look at this world again. The spirit stood in front of Lin Tian and General Han and asked who broke his seal and released him into the wild and waited for an answer to the question. General Han was very scared by the appearance of the spirit and said that it was impossible and who was this terrible spirit in front of them. But the spirit told Fat Khan that it was not a miracle or mysticism and he simply had good eyesight and a good appetite for food. Lin Tian bowed to the spirit and said that he did it, and the spirit told him that he helped him a lot now, and the spirit's name was Xian Ming. Xian Ming told Lin Tian that he would ask him for something, and Lin thought that he had helped the spirit and wanted to receive some kind of reward. Suddenly, a task appeared in Lin Tian's system and he had to agree to Xian Ming's demand and honor him as a teacher. Lin Tian told Xian Ming that he could ask anything and he asked him to avenge him and let him live in Lin's body. Lin Tian asked Xian Ming why they didn't live in heaven and did he look like a reliable and strong person and an angel. Xian Ming told Lin Tian that he would take him on as a student and said that he was very strong and many wanted to train with him. Lin Tian wondered if he should have agreed to Xian Ming's terms because he still wasn't completely sure of his honesty. Lin Tian made a decision and told Xian Ming that he agreed to his terms and they could discuss a lot of important information. Lin Tian completed the internship quest and had the option to enable mentoring due to the fact that he communicated with the spirit. Suddenly, Xian Ming told Lin Tian that he was now his master and wanted to penetrate his brain to take over his body. Lin Tian decided to leave there and thought that the owner who did not pay rent and behaved so rudely was arrogant and the end of the world. Lin Tian froze and he heard someone tell him that below was the outer door of Elder Bauhinia as the first place in this assessment. Suddenly, many people appeared in front of Lin Tian and they told him that he could choose the 3 rewards at his own discretion. Lin Tian was dragging the fainted Han behind him and the people from the sect asked Lin to wear the clothes of the Xian Kong sect when he entered. Lin Tian looked at all the awards and found an elixir that helped people come to their senses, and he now decided to take this award for himself. Lin Tian immediately poured the entire elixir into General Han's mouth so that he would quickly wake up and come to his senses because he was his best friend. The man from the Xian Kong sect smiled and told Lin Tian that he was very generous and saved the lives of others, although he could have taken the reward for himself. Immediately General Khan began to come to his senses and he did not remember what was wrong with him and could not believe that what he saw of some kind of spirit was true. General Han asked brother Lin Tian what he wanted to eat for breakfast and said that he was already hungry and was ready to eat everything. Lin Tian said that he was not hungry and refused breakfast and realized that Han had come to his senses since he always thought only about food. Lin Tian put on the Xian Kong clan uniform and began to climb the stairs, while General Han got confused in the uniform and followed his brother. The next day, early in the morning, General Han shouted to the whole village and all the people were thinking about where this loud pig came from. General Han ran to Lin Tian in the morning and asked his brother to help him and said that besides him he could not turn to anyone there. Lin Tian was very surprised and asked General Han what happened to him because he alarmed the entire village with his screeching. General Han crawled on his knees to brother Lin Tian and said that he had been beaten and wanted him to deal with this bully. Lin Tian was surprised and asked General Han who could have done this, and he said that he was beaten by a beautiful girl when he did not expect it. Lin Tian told Han that he deserved to be beaten and asked him if he really wanted him to beat the girl. General Han grabbed onto Lin Tian's leg and asked his brother not to leave him in trouble because friends were always supposed to help. Lin Tian ordered brother Han to let him go and he wanted him not to bother him with such problems and figure it out himself. But suddenly a task appeared in the system to find the person who beat General Han and Lin Tian was angry and did not want to do it. Lin Tian read the task and agreed to help Han and asked him to tell him everything and asked if he knew where to go. General Han was very happy and told brother Lin Tian that he was a good man and he would go with him and show him the bully. Lin Tian and Han went on a journey and came to the Xian Kong herbal medicine sect and saw that there were a lot of people there and they were all walking. But suddenly someone said that the old leader, who had been to the grassy valley 3 times, would lead a team that would soon be assembled. The resident said that students of the 5th level and above samurai can enter the 4th and 3rd teams, and Lin Tian listened to all this. And someone said that the Knight Alliance received income and the 3rd team in the outer sect and people above the 6th level could join it. The man said that the disparate team led by the old chief would receive 5 prefecture-level herbs and be rewarded. The Valley of Herbs was located behind the main peak of Xiankon Mountain, and there were many medicinal herbs, but they were guarded by monsters. Every year, the Xiankong sect would send disciples to enter there to collect medicinal herbs for use. He said that all this would last 3 days, and half of the herbs received at the end should be transferred to the sect. General Han suddenly pointed his finger at the guy and told brother Lin Tian that he was the one who beat him and asked him to deal with it. Lin Tian thought that if he helped Han, he could gain experience, and approached the bully and asked him why he beat his brother. The bully was surprised and asked Lin Tian if this impudent and vile pig that approached his girlfriend was his brother. Lin Tian did not want to conflict with him and thought that he had no choice because the system itself gave him such a task and it was bad. The Xiankong sect candidates looked at the bully and wondered if it was an alliance tiger, and they didn't expect to see him there. Candidates for the Xiankong sect heard that there was no chance in a duel against the tiger of the alliance, and no one could win the fight against him. The Tiger of the Union asked Lin Tian if he was such a fearless hero and if he was also afraid of suffering like his brother. Lin Tian smiled and told the Tiger of the Alliance that it was not he who should have suffered, and even with his strength, he was not his opponent. The Tiger of the Union was very angry at Lin Tian's impudent words and clenched his fists and told the insolent man that he would die now and pay for everything. The Tiger of the Union swung at Lin Tian and wanted to hit him, but he stood motionless and calm and was not at all afraid of getting hit in the face. But suddenly the Tiger of the Union injured his arm, and it seemed to him that it was broken and he could not move it, and began to scream in pain. The Tiger of the Union lay on the ground and writhed in pain and cried and said that this could not have happened, and he did not feel his hand at all. Lin Tian looked at the Tiger of the Union and told him that he warned him and he knew how it would all end, but he did not listen to him. And then suddenly someone told Lin Tian that he was good and she really liked him and asked him to join her alliance. People said that it was a beauty in the outer sect, and the head of the Susu alliance and General Han saw her exactly this morning. People froze in surprise and were shocked and said that Susu was a beauty, and they all dreamed of such a cute girl like Susu. Lin Tian looked at Susu and thought that she was indeed a very beautiful girl, and besides, she had her own alliance with people. But then suddenly a task appeared in the system and Lin Tian had to mock Susu, but he himself did not want to do it and was against it. Lin Tian walked up to Susu and told her that she looked good for her age, but some of her places were too small and it infuriated him. Susu was very angry with Lin Tian and said that he was shameless, but he grabbed her hand and said that he could help her with the problem. Susu calmed down and asked Lin Tian if he was telling her the truth and could help her with this long-standing problem, and she was glad. But suddenly Lin Tian smiled and asked Susu if she had heard about the touch enlargement technique and if she understood what he meant. Susu slapped Lin Tian and called him a stinking scoundrel and didn't like his obscene behavior in front of everyone. Susu turned away from Lin Tian and said that Miss Ben would never speak to him again and he would only dream about it. Lin Tian completed the task and increased the value of the power of pretense, but he did not like the fact that now Susu hated him forever. Then night came and Lin Tian and General Han walked in the wilderness of the Valley of Medicinal Herbs, and they discussed about all things in this world. General Han asked brother Lin Tian if he didn't invite that beauty Susu with them because she could greatly help them in business. Lin Tian told General Han that he was afraid that if he approached Susu again, he would be killed and he would not do anything. General Han suddenly lay down in a pile of grass and told brother Lin Tian that he had not even thought about it and asked him to let him take a nap. Lin Tian thought that he was also tired and wanted to rest, but suddenly he heard a scream nearby and thought who you were and what happened. And then suddenly Lin Tian noticed that in this wilderness of medicinal herbs there was Susu, and terrible monsters began to approach her. Lin Tian looked at Susu and thought that he flirted with her day and night and saved her and he was like a hero, but the system hated him. Lin Tian quickly ran to Susu and began to beat the monsters with the wild clash technique, and he finished off almost all the monsters. Lin Tian walked up to the monster and hit it using the falling falling cloud palm technique and the monsters could not do anything. Lin Tian saved Susu from terrible monsters and told her that he came there to save her and he was not at all afraid of them when he fought with them. Suddenly Susu and Lin Tian looked at each other and froze and thought about some things, and he realized that she was cute. But suddenly General Han shouted to Lin Tian and asked his brother to help him and noticed that someone was stealing a cart with medicinal herbs. Lin Tian immediately rushed towards the robber and said that he would now get what he deserved for this theft and it would be very painful for him. Lin Tian hit the robber in the face with all his might with his best technique and said that now he will know that stealing is wrong. Lin Tian climbed onto the carriage and threw the robber out of there and said that he did not deserve to ride on such good carriages. The robber quickly ran away from there and told Lin Tian that he had memorized them and he would not be able to live a normal life as before. Susu had already approached Lin Tian and said that the head of Wang Venera was also a bandit and he believed in his uncle in the ministry. General Han froze in surprise and was shocked when he saw Susu and thought that this girl was a goddess and she immediately charmed him. Lin Tian said thank you to General Han for the fact that he told him about the robber and he was interested and asked him not to interfere with him. Lin Tian told Susu that he was distracted and remembered about her and said that they met with her 3 days ago and he did not forget anything about her. Susu told Lin Tian that he was a scoundrel and people now didn't care about him and she didn't even want to remember this incident. As a result, Lin Tian, Susu and General Han collected almost 10,000 herbs, and this was a lot, and the sect collected almost 5,000 herbs. People were surprised and realized that they had collected more herbs than the sect and wondered why Sweet Susu joined them. People thought that they were good, and not only did they challenge Wang Meng, but they also took the queen and could consider themselves a corpse. The next morning, Lin Tian woke up and was very surprised because he did not notice General Han's house and wondered where he could go. And at that moment Lin Tian saw something that made him speechless and very angry and wanted to deal with these scoundrels right away. Lin Tian noticed that it was written on the wall that if Lin Tian did not want his brother to die, he should have come to Wang Meng. Lin Tian was very angry and thought that if these scoundrels even laid a finger on Khan, they would regret being born into this world. Lin Tian immediately came to the base where the Wanmeng sect had hidden and thought that they had crossed the line and would now pay for stealing his friend. Lin Tian came there and immediately broke their sign and shouted to all the people from the sect and told them to come out there and not hide like cowards. People from the sect immediately ran to their comrades and told their brother that Lin Tian had come there and they wanted him to come to them. But suddenly Lin Tian immediately dealt with the people from the Wanmeng sect and ordered their leader to immediately release his best friend. The sect leader held General Han captive and told Lin Tian that he himself ran into them and asked if Susu was still with him. Lin Tian told the sect leader that his people were punished for following his orders and he did not know any information about Susu. The sect leader asked Lin Tian if he really thought that he would not fight him because his cultivation level was higher. And then suddenly the head of the sect rushed at Lin Tian and said that he was not afraid of him and was ready to fight him for the rest of his life. Lin Tian put up a block and defended himself from the sect leader's blow and realized that he had a heavy blow and it was difficult for him to defend himself with it. Lin Tian realized that the head of the sect had people whose level was very high and Susu was right and it was not easy with this guy. The sect leader told Lin Tian that it was time for him to die and began to attack him with techniques, but Lin Tian only smiled at him. The sect leader thought that Lin Tian was afraid of him and he was close to defeating him, but he used the brutal attack technique. Lin Tian responded to the sect leader with such a strong blow that he was slammed into the wall and could no longer continue the fight and lost. The sect leader was very surprised and told Lin Tian that this couldn't have happened and there was something wrong with his cultivation and he knew it for sure. Lin Tian congratulated the sect leader for guessing this, but said that it was already too late and continued to beat him in all places. Lin Tian did not let the head of the sect go and he asked Lin if he knew who his uncle was and asked him to let him go, otherwise he would regret it. Lin Tian told the sect leader that he was very afraid of his words, and then suddenly Lin Tian dealt a powerful blow to his groin and he gave up. The mission was completed and the system discovered that the subject had 2 complete exercises that should have been combined into one. Lin Tian looked at the system and thought that the levels of techniques were divided into the human level of the sky mysterious land and the emperor level. Lin Tian thought that if 2 techniques were combined with a low-level technique, the gain would outweigh the losses and he could use too. Lin Tian logged into the system and realized that the heavenly sword that exploded earlier could be bought in a store and it was not difficult. Lin Tian read that the heavenly sword technique could only show its maximum power when combined with the heavenly sword. Lin Tian noticed that the heavenly sword was worth 100 million and froze in surprise and was in shock and thought what kind of robbery it was. General Han walked behind Lin Tian and thanked him for saving him, and Lin Tian asked his best friend to be careful. Afterwards, at the Criminal Justice Department, the man asked the doctor if he could cure his nephew because he was seriously wounded. The doctor looked at his wounded nephew and said that he was afraid that he would no longer be able to play sports and stand upright. After the doctor's words, the minister became very angry and ordered his people to bring those who did this there and immediately execute them. Lin Tian was immediately caught and he thought that it was very unexpected, but in the rules of criminal law and order there was not a word about lynching. Lin Tian sat tied up and thought how he could get out of these ropes and escape from there because he still had a lot to do. The minister shouted at Lin Tian and asked if he had crippled his nephew and made it so that now he is almost disabled for life. Lin Tian told the man that it was his doing, but he was very merciful to his nephew and did not hit him too much. The minister told Lin Tian that these were excellent and a severe sentence would await him and ordered the people to carry out the punishment. The minister told his people that today this impudent boy should learn that life can be much worse than death. And then suddenly his men smiled and began to approach Lin Tian with different weapons in their hands, and they had bad intentions. Lin Tian realized that they were about to do something terrible to him and thought, shouldn't someone have appeared and saved him now? And at that very second, the man minister dealt a strong blow to Lin Tian with a rope and said that this was only the beginning of the attraction. Lin Tian was in great pain and he realized that he was in vain hoping for a miracle and no one could save him and he had to say goodbye to life. At this time, General Han asked the beauty to help him and said that Lin Tian's brother was arrested by the minister and without her help he would die. Susu was surprised and thought when the minister managed to grab Lin Tian, because according to Han, he had only recently beaten his nephew. Susu told her sister that she owed Lin Tian her life and asked her to help her and save Lin Tian from this minister. The girl told Susu that although she was the head of the inner door, she could not interfere in the affairs of criminal law and order. Susu told her sister that they were mistaken and Lin Tian was not to blame for anything and asked her to help him because he had helped many of their sisters. General Han knelt down and asked them to save his brother Lin Tian because he already missed him very much and did not want to lose him. The head of the inner door asked them to wait there and she had an idea and everyone was interested to know her plan. At this time, the minister's man told Lin Tian that he had endured 8 punishments and he admitted that this gave him respect. But the minister's man said that he had offended Wang Leiling's nephew and said that even with all his will, even the King of Heaven would not save him. Lin Tian asked him not to hesitate and continue and wondered if the system was alive because after a couple of punishments he would be a corpse. The man approached the minister and told Mr. Wang Leiling that all the heavy punishments had been applied and what could he do next. Wang Leiling wanted to see how long this impudent Lin Tian would last and said that he needed his flesh and he craved it. The minister's subordinate began to approach Lin Tian with a smirk in his hands and said that he was interested in doing this to him. But suddenly a door crashed into him and Minister Wang Leiling did not understand what happened there and how this door flew away from its place. Minister Wang Leiling was surprised and asked his people who dared to break into the outer door of the Criminal Law Enforcement Department. And then Susu's sister appeared in front of Minister Wang Leiling and he couldn't believe it was really Susu Zhou and what she forgot there. Wang Leiling was shocked and asked Susu Zhou what this meant and why she kicked down the door and burst into this room so abruptly. Susu Zhou boldly stepped towards the minister and told Wang Leiling that she had come there to pick up Lin Tian and save him now. Wang Leiling was surprised and asked Susu Zhou why she wanted to take Lin Tian and she could take everyone except him. Susu Zhou asked Minister Wang Leiling if he really thought he could stop her and quickly dealt with everyone in the room. Minister Wang Leiling was lying on the floor and was in great pain and he told Susu Zhou that big problems awaited her because of her impudence. Susu Zhou asked Wang Leiling to never forget the status of the Wang family and whether he would continue to be the head or not was decided by the Su family. Susu Zhou told Minister Wang Leiling that if he insulted their family, he himself knew what awaited him and it was very interesting. Susu Zhou immediately freed Lin Tian from captivity and he was very weak and could not move and he could barely hold on so as not to lose consciousness. Lin Tian asked Susu Zhou why she saved him and suddenly lost consciousness and fell right on Sister Susu and she was shocked. Immediately the system detected that the subject was weak and activated the protection mode and acquired prefecture-level healing pills. Lin Tian rested for a couple of hours and he regained his strength and the protection mode was lifted and he noticed that there were a lot of candies there. Lin Tian opened his eyes and began to come to his senses and thought about where he ended up and whose house it was in, which he felt very comfortable. Suddenly Susu appeared in front of Lin Tian and he asked how she ended up there and Susu called him a scoundrel and had he really forgotten everything? Susu said that when she saved him, he swore that he would thank him until the end of his days, but after eating her tofu, he stopped recognizing her. Lin Tian didn't understand what kind of tofu Susu meant and why he had to thank her, but he didn't know how it ended up at her house. Susu told Lin Tian that if she had not persuaded her sister to save him, he would have been dead in the criminal justice department. Lin Tian thought and he didn't expect that Susu had such a powerful sister and it seemed like the Su family was very strong and he underestimated them. Susu asked Lin Tian how he woke up after spending 2 days unconscious because his sister said that he should have been asleep for almost a month. Lin Tian told Susu that her sister was completely right but he took the healing pill so he was able to recover so quickly. Susu was surprised and asked Lin if he really had 2 Earth-class medicinal pills and how a scoundrel like him could get rich. Lin Tian smiled and asked Susu, who told her that he bought them because he could make these medicinal pills himself and he had the brains. Susu was surprised and asked Lin Tian if he was really involved in alchemy and she realized that he was actively involved in alchemy. Lin Tian told Susu that he understood alchemy but did not know what to be happy about and Susu said that he was a real idiot. Susu said that alchemy was the rarest talent in the entire empire and not every alchemist could practice cultivation. Lin Tian learned from Susu's words that there were no more than 10 alchemists in the entire Luoying Empire and he had not even thought about this gift before. Susu asked Lin Tian to stay there and said that she needed to talk to her sister and find out some information. Lin Tian looked at the system and only now realized why he was able to withstand the punishment and it was because of the bonus of pretending. Susu Zhou told her sister that she never thought that Lin Tian was an alchemist practicing cultivation and she saved the genius. Susu Rou told her sister that Lin Tian had to join the Su family and others should not know about it and it was dangerous. Susu went to Lin Tian and he said that he was healthy and there was no point in him staying there and asked her to thank her sister for everything. Lin Tian told Susu that he would thank them in the future but she asked him to wait and she had to tell him something. Lin Tian wondered if Susu wanted to confess her love to him and she asked him if he could join their Su family. Lin Tian agreed with Susu and said that he was glad to join their family and said that he would help them in any way he could. Lin Tian thought that Susu was so embarrassed when she talked about serious things and he was in vain expecting something more from her. And then suddenly General Han came running to him and told brother Lin Tian that he had finally woken up and he missed him very much and was glad. Lin Tian told Susu that it was General Han and asked if he could also join her alliance because he had always helped him. General Han wanted to hug Lin Tian but fell to the ground and Susu said that his brother was very loyal and she could accept him into the alliance. Susu said that in 2 days they were going on a sortie and they were new and they needed to meet members from the Union. 2 days later, Susu told her alliance that this time they were going to the tomb, which was at the intersection of Jingzhou and 2 prefectures. Susu told the members that the Xian Kunmen Tianmen and Qinjiamen sects could fight each other at any time. Lin Tian told Susu that he himself would lead them on a mission and he did not want others to admire her beauty and also wanted to protect her. Susu was surprised by Lin Tian's words but agreed with him and they began their journey and Lin Tian behaved like a real leader and professional. Lin Tian led the whole team behind him and they began to walk through the dark caves to meet adventures and everyone was very interested. And after a couple of hours, the Su family alliance suddenly came across the chests and they were wondering what treasures were in these chests. Lin Tian opened the chests and told Susu that these chests were full of heavenly level healing pills and she was surprised by this. People from the Union were very happy and did not believe their luck because one such pill cost at least 500,000 yuan. People realized that there were 20 chests and in each of them there were 80 and 90 pills and these were a miracle. The general and Susu were also very happy because this could earn hundreds of millions of yuan and it was a fairy tale. And then suddenly someone said that he really saw Susu's sister there and asked her not to be afraid and said that they came to protect her. There were men behind them and their leader asked Susu how she wanted to find a way out with these weaklings and asked him to have a better drink with his brother. Lin Tian asked the stranger who he was and thought that these three were 6th level masters and he was the 4th, and this is a problem. The stranger got angry at Lin Tian and asked who dared to interrupt Lao Jio's conversation and who was this puppy who was a hero. Susu told Lao Jio that even if she died, Madame Ben would never be with such trash as him and he should have died. Lao Jio asked Susu not to be so shameless and said that anyway no one would know if he did something to her in this cave. A member of the union asked Lao Jio how he dared to insult Miss Susu and said that he had signed his death sentence with such words. Lao Jio smiled and told the union member that he had a huge ego and immediately kicked him and said that it was all over. The union member was lying on the ground writhing in pain and told Lao Jio that if he was a man he should have stepped over him. Lin Tian told Lao Jio that he had to go through him too and without defeating him he would not be able to go further through this cave. Lin Tian approached his brother in the service and asked him to help protect Susu and said that he would take on the battle with Lao Jio. Lin Tian thought that their level was higher than his and he had to finish them off one by one and prevent them from joining forces. Lao Jio smiled and told Lin Tian that people like them came there every year, but this year there were very few of them. Lao Jio said that one death was not enough and a couple more were needed, and then Lin Tian ran up to him and hit him. Lin Tian used the falling heavens palm technique and Lao Jio screamed in pain and now he was done with this scoundrel forever. Lao Jio's people realized that Lin Tian was very strong and it would be difficult for them to cope with him, and now they believed it with difficulty. The man Lao Jio told the accomplice that they needed to unite and kill Lin Tian first and could not give in to fear. And then Lao Jio's people attacked Lin Tian and he realized that after all, he would have to fight two fighters at once. The man Lao Jio wanted to hit Lin Tian but he failed and Lin Tian noticed that now someone was protecting him with their magic. Susu helped Lin Tian and told him that they would detain Lao Jio's people and asked him to now deal with another fighter. Lin Tian was happy and told Susu that he expected this from his assistant and she asked the scoundrel to shut up and not call her that. Lin Tian quickly ran up to the man Lao Jio and used all his brutal palm wave qigong techniques and dealt with him. Lin Tian told Susu that he and his team shouldn't have stayed there and asked them to take the pills and leave quickly. Afterwards, Lin Tian came to the Double Happiness auction house and told the head that he had brought heavenly grade pills for sale. The head said that she would give 2 million copper coins for healing, 1 million for dexterity, 1 million for fury and the rest. But suddenly Lin Tian told the head of the auction that he would sell everything for 100 million and he did not want to sell her for less. The head of the auction was surprised and asked Lin Tian what hundreds of millions he meant and how many pills he had. Lin Tian shrugged and told the head of the auction that he didn't have many pills and only 600 was acceptable. The head of the auction was shocked and asked if there were only 600 and the invisible award was a deadly habit. The system notified Lin Tian that the exchange had been completed and he received a new technique, the Celestial Sword Art. Lin Tian thought that it didn't hurt him to learn a new technique and he immediately mastered this technique of Celestial Sword Art. Lin Tian was very happy and thought that the power was excellent and it was worth 100 million which he exchanged for teaching the technique. And then suddenly a man appeared in front of Lin Tian and told Mr. that he had a package for him and it was a letter from Yuner. Lin Tian already missed her and thought that she also missed him and suddenly opening the letter he found out that Yuner was leaving. Lin Tian quickly got home and asked Yuner where she was going to leave and why he just suddenly found out about it. Yuner was shocked to see Master Lin Tian and was very happy that he had finally returned and all the people missed him very much. Yuner hugged Lin Tian and he said that he also missed her, but he came for another reason and asked why she was leaving there. Yuner told him that she was sold to the Lin family when she was little and 2 days ago she found out that her parents live in Mingzhou. Yuner wanted to visit them and Lin said that he was glad that she had found a family, but now he couldn't go with her and he was sorry. Yunner hugged Lin Tian tightly and said that she didn't want to leave him, and he called her stupid and said that he would find her. Lin Tian waved his hand at Yunner and said that he would ask Brother Murong to find her someone who would accompany her and protect her from dangers. Yunner asked Master Lin Tian not to forget about her and said that she would always be with him in his dreams and fantasies and would not leave him. Lin Tian asked Yunner not to worry and said that everything would be fine and he would train in her absence and wait for her. The next morning, Lin Tian practiced martial arts and upgraded his new technique, which he really liked. Lin Tian realized that he had raised his sword skills to the 7th level and now even an 8th level master was not a problem. And then suddenly Susu appeared behind Lin Tian and said so this is where he was, and he asked what she needed and was she really bored. Susu asked Lin Tian who needed him and she came to say that a major competition would soon take place where the best would gather. Susu told Lin Tian that he should have prepared well because the top 3 would be able to enter the inner door. Lin Tian thought that with his current strength, it would not be difficult for him to enter the inner door and by then he would be able to find the head. At this time, in the building, sect leader Xian Kong was asking Minister Wang Leiling whether he would participate in the outer gate tournament. Minister Wang Leiling told the masked man that if Lin Tian and Susu were eliminated, they would have no other competitors left. The masked man said that the family behind Susu was not so easy to resist and he was afraid of them and they must come up with a plan. Suddenly, Minister Wang Leiling smiled slyly and asked the masked man not to worry, and he knew how to do everything unnoticed. 1 month later, in the outer door competition, the 4 winners Lin Susu Menghu and the stranger with a smile entered the arena. All 4 participants made it to the semi-finals to fight for the right to enter the inner door and did not want to miss their chance. The host announced that the first match of the semi-finals would now begin and the participants were divided into 2 pairs to advance to the finals. The first couple of the semi-finals was Susu and a stranger with a sharp look and they stood opposite each other and studied their opponent. Susu wanted to be the first to strike a stranger with a sharp look, but he quickly dodged her blow and she could not hit. Susu thought that she should kick the enemy, but the opponent was very fast and very deftly dodged Susu's blows. Susu continued the fight and was active, but suddenly a stranger with a sharp look began to run away from her and stall for time. The spectators were surprised and thought, was that all he could do, and he could only run and ask the fighter to get out of the ring because he was boring. Lin Tian thought that there was something wrong there, because the fighter was not inferior to Susu in strength, but he did not attack and seemed to be waiting for the moment. And suddenly a stranger with a sharp look said that the moment had almost arrived and Lin Tian realized that things were very bad. Suddenly strange things began to happen to Susu and she immediately felt bad and all the spectators asked Susu to wake up and continue the fight. Susu just stood and looked somewhere to the side and she looked confused and Lin Tian could not understand what could have happened. All the spectators asked Susu to come to her senses and were enchanted by her beauty and wanted her to continue the fight and defeat him. Lin Tian thought it was disgusting and why didn't anyone see a problem with these spells because Susu was clearly bewitched now. Lin Tian looked at Wang Leilin and thought that this was clearly his doing. One could expect anything from him. Lin Tian approached the Menghu Alliance member and said that Susu was in danger and asked him to bring Susu's sister Zhou there for help. And suddenly Lin Tian got very angry and jumped into the center of the arena and the spectators were shocked and did not understand what he was going to do. An unfamiliar fighter with a grin on his face approached Susu and wanted to do something bad to her and was very happy about it. But then suddenly Lin Tian appeared in front of him and said how dare he offend Susu and hit him in the face with all his might. The unfamiliar fighter was very surprised and asked Lin Tian how he ended up there because he shouldn't have been there and he was not happy to see him. But Lin Tian did not listen to the stranger's words and said that he was a bastard and dealt a strong blow to him which was fatal. Immediately Wang Leiling himself came down to the arena and said that Lin Tian attacked his fellow student and disrupted the tournament and had to die. Lin Tian took out his pills and thought that a couple of heavenly level fury pills could raise the level to the 6th. Lin Tian swallowed the pills and hoped that Menghu would have time to bring Susu Zhou there and he had to hold out until then. Wang Leiling's people asked that Lin Tian, with the level of a martial artist, how could he fight against an emperor level? Lin Tian said that he would see how long they would talk nonsense and used the heavenly sword art. Minister Wang Leiling said that Lin Tian had committed a crime and ordered his people to unite and finish him off before it was too late. Lin Tian held his unusual sword in his hand and prepared himself because all of Wang Leiling's people began to rush towards him to finish him off. Lin Tian quickly dealt with all of Wang Leiling's men and realized that his sword was a cool weapon and he really liked everything. But suddenly Wang Leiling ran up to Lin Tian and delivered a strong kick to the stomach and said that he had to take everything into his own hands. Lin Tian sat down on his knee and was hurt by Wang Leiling's blow and realized that he was a strong fighter and it would be difficult for him to defeat him. Wang Leiling stood over Lin Tian and asked if he was giving up because he was wondering if he could provide him with any resistance. Lin Tian told Wang Leiling that he could only dream about it and he would never obey him and he could go further with advice. Wang Leiling asked Lin Tian if he wasn't enough and last time he let him leave but now he won't be able to escape. Wang Leiling wanted to strike Lin Tian, but he began to defend himself from his blow and thought that his pressure was powerful. Wang Leiling told Lin Tian that he had seen his limit and asked him one last time if he would give up but he said that he would never give up. Wang Leiling said that then he could just die and wanted to show Lin Tian his technique that could destroy any person. But suddenly Susu Ro appeared in front of Lin Tian and told Wang Leiling to stop fighting with him and hit him with all her might. Susu Zhou asked Wang Leiling how he dared to use such cruel methods against her sister and he had no honor. Wang Leiling sat on the ground and told Susu Doke that it was not what she thought and he was not aiming at Susu and it was an accident. Susu Zhou asked Wang Leiling why her sister fell victim to the Wang family's enchantment spell and suddenly slapped him in the face. Susu Zhou told all the people that Minister Wang Leiling, the head of the law enforcement department, deserved everyone's contempt and it was fair. Susu Zhou looked at the minister and said that today, on behalf of the sect, she will eradicate this evil and this situation will not happen again. The presenter told all the spectators that those who violated the rules of the competition were punished and went to prison for their illegal deeds. The host said that the top 3 remained in the tournament and these were Lin Tian, Susu and Menghu and they all became disciples of the sect. The man asked Lin Tian to accept his congratulations and told him that upon entering this door he should not forget to visit the Gong Fa Pavilion. Lin Tian was very happy and told the head of Zijing that he would visit this place and he could be sure that he would complete his task and not run away. Afterwards they returned home or Susu Zhou gave the pill to Sister Susu and told Lin Tian that Susu would soon come to her senses and everything would be fine. Susu Zhou said thank you to Lin Tian and if he had not been next to her sister, she was scared to think what could have happened to her. Lin Tian told Susu Ro that once her sister Susu saved him and besides, they were best friends and he could not do otherwise. Susu Zhou said that her sister had many admirers, but he alone was ready to suffer for her and from that day on she considered him her son-in-law. Lin Tian was shocked and thought that he didn't marry Susu and that was progress and even the tornado didn't move that fast. Susu Zhou told Lin Tian that he shouldn't have been so surprised and she would go and he could rest and today Susu would be handed over to him. Lin Tian was sitting next to Susu and suddenly she began to come to her senses and Lin Tian was glad that she woke up and how she felt. And immediately the system notified Lin Tian that the battle task had been completed and he received a lot of points and the value of pretending. But suddenly Susu immediately woke up and kissed Lin Tian, and he did not expect that one day he would be forcibly kissed by a beautiful girl. Susu told Lin Tian that in the ring she understood everything, but could not control her body and realized that someone had bewitched her. Lin Tian told Susu that saving the beauty was a real blessing and said that they could kiss again. Susu got angry and called Lin Tian a pervert and asked what he was just thinking about and said that she didn't love him at all. Susu told Lin Tian that she still wanted to thank him for saving her and never leaving her in trouble like everyone else. Lin Tian told Susu that she shouldn't have thanked him because it was his duty and he would always protect her from all dangers and villains. Susu was very happy and told Lin Tian that from now on he could always protect her and she was not at all against it. The man at that time said that Leiling was an idiot and should not have been trusted, and instead of killing Lin Tian, his nephew died. The sect person said that since Lin Tian entered the inner door, he was in their hands and they could easily get rid of him. He told the masked man that the Su family would not dare to oppose them because of some Lin Tian and defend the honor of a stranger. At this time, Susu told Lin Tian that she would now show him an interesting place and took him to some tall building in the village. This was a library and all the people were interested and read books because there were a lot of floors and each of them was funny. Lin Tian and Susu went up to the 9th floor and he thought that it was strange and was there really only one technique on this floor? It was a mystical level technique for the movement of heaven and earth, and people who studied this technique could move with lightning speed. Lin Tian knew that speed played an important role in battle, and he just lacked movement techniques in his work practice. But Lin Tian was surprised because only the first half of the book talked about this technique and thought maybe it was some kind of mistake. Lin Tian thought that this could not be because those worthy of Xian Kunman could not keep an unfinished book and put guards there. Lin Tian thought that there was probably some mystery girl hiding there and told the sage that he wanted to learn this technique faster. The sage asked Lin Tian if he wanted to learn this technique because it was a waste of time and they had half the technique. Lin Tian said that he was sure of it and the sage said that hundreds of disciples came there but he was the first who decided to take it on. The sage told Lin Tian that he could take the book with him but he had to return it in 3 days and that was just one condition. The system detected a mystic class technique and asked Lin Tian if he wanted to learn it and he wanted to learn it as quickly as possible. Lin learned that the layers of this technique were different from each other and 10th level masters could fly into the sky and be fast. Lin Tian thought that, unlike his other techniques, the movement of heaven and earth could only be strengthened by constant practice. They went up to the 10th floor of the pavilion and Susu said that there were a lot of techniques on this floor and why did he need an unfinished one. Lin Tian told Susu that he would not reveal his secrets and she would find out about everything when the time came and asked her not to interfere with his technology. Susu got angry and pulled Lin Tian by the ear and asked what secrets he kept inside himself and if he didn't tell her, she would beat him. Lin Tian hugged Susu and told her that after learning this technique, he would become so fast that she would never be able to reach him. But suddenly Susu slapped Lin Tian and called him a scoundrel and said that he again took advantage of her for his own personal purpose. Lin Tian was shocked and handed Susu a book with techniques and said that she could also learn a lot with him and train. Lin Tian asked Susu if she wanted to try and he could lend her a book, but Susu was returning to her family tomorrow. Susu told Lin Tian that in 3 days there would be a family competition so all Su's disciples had to return there. Suddenly Lin Tian began to cry and told Susu that he would have to spend a few days without her and would miss her very much. Susu told Lin Tian that if he was cooking the truth, then today he should go shopping with her and taste delicious food. After Lin Tian and Susu walked on a busy street with food and they had a lot of fun and bought a lot of food and Lin licked her lollipop. Susu was shocked by this and asked Lin Tian to stop doing this and asked why he licked her lollipop. She doesn't need germs. Lin Tian smiled and told Susu that her lollipop was very tasty and he had not tried anything like it for a long time and thanked her for it. Lin Tian and Susu sat together and drank drinks and they were happy that they were together and did not want to think about problems and stress. Lin smiled and told Susu that he had a lot of fun today and he told her thank you for everything and he thought that there was chemistry between them. But suddenly Susu told Lin Tian that if he wanted to deceive her again for his own purposes, then this time he would not succeed. Lin Tian thought that he had received permission to date Susu from her sister, but he could not get her to believe him. The next morning, Lin Tian woke up and suddenly saw Susu sleeping next to him and he realized that she was a very sweet girl. But suddenly Susu also woke up and screamed with all her might and Lin told her that there was nothing between them and he just fell asleep yesterday. Lin Tian asked Susu not to be angry and said that he would give her 10 heavenly grade healing pills and asked her to take care of herself. Susu told Lin Tian what a scoundrel he was and suddenly kissed him and asked him to wait for her return. After 3 days, Lin Tian trained non-stop and he reached the maximum level of the heavenly sword technique and was very happy. The system congratulated Lin Tian for his sword art and it reached the maximum level due to his constant training. The system suggested that Lin Tian improve the technique and he agreed with it, but he was unable to do it because there were not enough copper coins. Lin Tian got angry and thought, did the improvement really cost 100 million yuan and it was a mockery and unfair? Lin Tian realized that he would have to work hard to acquire it and that celestial art needed money, and time was needed for the movement of heaven and earth. Lin Tian realized that with his current cultivation of a level 5 master, he could only perform no more than 5 runs and someone called him. Lin Tian turned around and noticed that General Han was running towards him, and Lin said that it was the inner door and how he got there. General Han told brother Lin Tianu that he snuck in there to ask him for help, and when Lin and Susu entered that door, General Han said that the Kendo League and its allies attacked their alliance and finished off their alliance brothers and did not spare anyone. General Han was horrified by this and could not come to his senses and asked Lin Tian for help and said that he was their next target. Lin Tian asked Han not to worry and said that no one would touch him while he was around and asked him to return to the outer door. Lin Tian and Han walked out the outer door but were suddenly met by people from the Kendo League and asked Lin Tian not to interfere in their affairs. The head of the Kendo League told Lin that the affairs of the outer door no longer concerned him and he could avoid problems if he did not interfere. Suddenly, the leader of the Kendo League told Lin Tian that he would deal with General Han today but would not touch him or kill him. Lin Tian said that although he left the outer door, he was a member of the alliance and Han was his brother and most loyal friend. The man from the Kendo League laughed and said that his union was no longer there and only the Kendo League and no one else remained in the outer door. The Kendo League man asked Lin Tian if he wanted to save his life or his brother's life, but he wanted both. The man from the Kendo League got very angry and asked Lin Tian if he really wanted to die and said that he would regret it. And then suddenly 6th level masters from the Kendo League began to attack Lin Tian and said that they would send him to hell now. But Lin Tian smiled and thought that he would test new techniques and started the battle with the movement of heaven and earth technique, and they were surprised. Lin Tian continued to beat the Kendo League fighters and used the falling cloud palm technique, and they began to run away from there. The people from the Kendo League were very surprised and told Lin Tian that he was definitely not a level 5 fighter and he used a savage kick. People from the Kendo League began to run away from there, and Lin Tian asked their leader why he was hunting for their union and who ordered him to do this. The head of the Kendo League wanted to tell Lin Tian interesting information, but suddenly someone ended his life by shooting an arrow at him. Lin Tian immediately realized that of course there was someone else behind all this, and he wanted to find their leaders in order to personally deal with them for everything. Lin Tian thought that the Wang family would not dare to encroach on the Su family, and who else could he encroach on, and could it really be the head in the mask? Lin Tian told General Han that they would not leave him alone and asked him to be careful and come there and find him if anything happened. Afterwards, Lin Tian came to the 9th floor of the pavilion to return his book about the technique to the sage, because 3 days had already passed since that moment. The sage asked Lin Tian if the task was impossible and if he decided to abandon this technique so as not to suffer. But Lin Tian smiled and told the sage that, on the contrary, he had studied it, and the sage did not believe his words because he did not expect such an answer. The sage froze in surprise and was in shock and told Lin Tian that this could not have happened and asked him to watch his words. But suddenly Lin Tian used the heaven and earth movement technique in front of the sage and began to move around the room at lightning speed. The sage couldn't believe his eyes because he thought that Lin Tian could only brag and said that it was a real technique. Lin Tian told the sage that if this technique was fake, it would have already been replaced with another and would not have been guarded so carefully. The sage told Lin Tian that since he had studied the first part, would he be interested in receiving a small gift from him? The sage asked Lin Tian if he would be interested in receiving the second half of the technique, and Lin immediately agreed with the sage. Lin Tian thought that it was just funny, and who would want to learn only half of the technique without even looking at the second one? But to read the second part, he needed to turn to the main sage Lin Zun, and he himself had to express a desire to meet. Lin Tian thought that probably another deadly task awaited him, and the system always substituted him with experienced tasks. Lin Tian thought that if he meets this chief sage Lin Zun, will he be able to find the second part of this cool technique? But suddenly a man with his men appeared in front of Lin Tian and threw some clothes in front of him and asked if he recognized it. The man said that his name was Yang Xiu and he was the inner head, and told Lin Tian that he beat his nephew to death recently. Lin Tian listened to him, and Yang Xiu said that his nephew was the owner of this robe and he beat him near the gate. Lin Tian said was it really Yang Xiu who was behind the attempts on their union, and said that he was polite and honest just like his nephew. Yang Xiu became very angry and asked Lin Tian how he dared to mock him and ordered his men to deal with him. Yang Xiu said that he wanted his people to bring Lin Tian to him, and all the people rushed at him with the intention of finishing him off now. Lin Tian immediately used the technique of movement of heaven and earth and savage strike and quickly dealt with Yang Xiu's people, and they regretted it. And then suddenly the system notified Lin Tian that he received experience for finishing off the inner disciple, and he received bonuses. Lin Tian was very surprised and wondered if he had gained experience and skill for clearing the world of inner disciples. Many people began to attack Lin Tian, Yang Xiu, and Lin Tian was happy and thought that now he would get a lot of points. Lin Tian began to use different techniques and he continued to receive experience points for this, and he was very happy because of this. Lin Tian gathered a mountain of Yang Xiu's people and asked who wanted to be next and said that they could come up and not be shy. Yang Xiu got angry and told Lin Tian that he was worthless and told him to come to him unless he was some kind of coward. And then suddenly Yang Xiu took out a spear and told Lin Tian that now he would quickly send him to the next world and he would not be able to do anything. Lin Tian thought that an old master-level scoundrel used such a cruel technique, but he also wanted Lao Jiu to die. Lin Tian dodged Yang Xiu's spear strike and used the heaven and earth movement technique, and he wanted Yang Xiu to believe in himself. Lin Tian took out his sword and used the celestial sword art technique and struck at that old man Yang Xiu. Suddenly Lin Tian injured Yang Xiu with his blow, and the old man realized that Lin Tian was indeed a very strong fighter and very cunning. And suddenly Yang Xiu threw a spear at Lin Tian and said that now he was wondering how he would defend himself from this dangerous technique. Lin Tian was shocked and did not expect him to throw a spear at him and wondered if Lao Jiu was motionless human flesh. Suddenly, Yang Xiu used the shadowless kick technique and continued to strike Lin Tian, and he was hurt by them. Lin Tian realized that Yang Xiu's skill was too different from his, and even practice did not help him, and he was waiting for someone to help him. Yang Xiu stood in front of Lin Tian and said that he was a fool and would now die there at his hands and be punished for his thoughtless actions. Lin Tian told his grandfather that he was blessed and would live longer than him, and someone told Yang Xiu that he had the courage to finish off anyone in his territory. Yang Xiu was surprised and turned around and couldn't believe his eyes and asked if Ling Zun himself was there and who he was looking for there and what he needed. Lin Tian was happy and thought how unexpected it was that the man from the treasure cave turned out to be Lin Zun and the chief sage of the inner door. Ling Zun asked Yang Xiu if he really needed his approval to look for someone, and Yang Xiu said that he meant something completely different. Yang Xiu knelt down and told Ling Zun that he had made a mistake and should not have attacked his people and asked him not to kill him. Lin Zun asked Lin Tian to tell him what to do with Yang Xiu and said that his life was in his hands and he could decide his fate. Lin Tian thought that before killing was a struggle for life and death, but now everything has changed and it was interesting and he wanted to solve all the issues. And then suddenly a choice task appeared in the system, and it was supposed to determine the fate of Yang Xiu, and this choice will affect the world and will be very important. Lin Tian thought that, as a rule, the protagonists were always lucky when they were faced with the choice of good and evil, and he himself had to not die. Lin Tian told Lin Zun to let Yang Xiu go, and the old man was very grateful to Lin Tian and said that he would not forget his kindness. Ling Jun told Yang Xiu that he would spare him this time and told him to get out of there, and he only survived thanks to Lin Tian. Ling Jun told Lin Tian that he pleasantly surprised him and his ability to forgive was a very important quality, and he passed the test and he was a great hero. Ling Jun took out the second part of the book of the movement of heaven and earth technique and said that now it was officially his and he could do whatever he wanted with it. Lin Tian realized that if he had chosen to kill Yang Xiu, then this book with the technique would not have been given to him so easily, and he was lucky now. Lin Jun told Lin Tian that he now had mastery of the technique and he wanted to invite him to take part in the Luoying tournament in 3 days.